And ladies and gents, we are here. Welcome to an 8-player free-for-all. And yes, there is money on the line. $250 goes to the winner of this game. $150 goes to second place in this game. And then $100 goes to third place in this game. Not to mention, it is $25 per King Snipe. Russell, he was our replacement player today, okay? He's 1,100 elo. He replaced Velez, a Finnish pro who unfortunately was sick this morning and could not participate. So he's got some big shoes to fill, and we're going to start it off with him. He is here playing as the Mongols. He's been in Loey the Legends. He's always hanging around my streams. He's in community games, so he is at least experienced when it comes to Diplo. Next to him is Arbase. Arbase, and based on the signups, he was like 47th out of the 48 signups or whatever. He's 1,600 or 1,500. He's playing as the Spanish. Again, another one who will be experienced here. Over here in the gray, you see Arg. I didn't know much about Arg. His other username's Argo, kind of like the movie. But anyways, Arg over here is a 2,100 elo player. I do not remember too much about him beyond that, but he's up there, top 100-ish elo, playing as the Celts. In the red, we've got Klavskis, and if you know your history... Oh, God, wait a second. Oh, my God, Vinchester could have lost his king there to Kamigawa. So I think Kamigawa was allied. But anyways, Klavskis played with Blue Coffee, guys. Pretty sure he played with Blue Coffee back when Regicide Rumble started many years ago. We used to play games together all the time. We used to cast together as well. Klavskis, he's still around. Klavskis playing as the Byzantines. In the teal, we have Kamigawa, an Italian pro. Plays for Team Rulers of Rome. Top 100 player. He doesn't play a lot of 1v1s, though, so you don't see a lot of him. I would still consider him, let's say, top 150. He's going to get pissed at me for saying that, but you got to play more 1v1s. He still comes in at 2K rating. In the yellow, you've got Vinch. Top 10 player right now. I don't think that there's any dispute. He's one of the best 1v1 players in the world, playing as the Saracens. Then in the blue, we've got Backed. Again, an amazing player. He used to play for Tyrant. He's been in crazy team game 1v1 tournaments over the years. An absolute legend from Vietnam playing Bohemians. And then we've got King Boo. King Boo, I remember, there's a video on my YouTube channel, and it was mid-elo legends, or it was like mid-elo coaching. That was like 2 years ago. King Boo's not mid-elo anymore. He's like top 150 from the UK, and I know he's got a solid group of people rooting for him here. So let's talk about the map. There's a lot to talk about, but as you can see, they start with a horse for a scout on top of having their king, and then they've got the hunt in the middle, okay? Now look at this from Backed. I was really curious how Backed would perform with this today, and Backed says purple ally, and King Boo says, hey Backed, yes. Also, I love how the carrot of King Boo's name is here. That's hilarious. So, interesting that already these two are talking. I feel like that could be a really good alliance. We'll call it the King Backed team. But anyways, for your start, you really want to rely on hunt on this map. There's a lot of hunt towards the middle. There is Mongols out there, so with Mongols being out and about, you'd expect the Mongols to have a bit of an edge there. And also towards the middle is a lot of stone and gold, so you'll need to be in the middle. And if you're in the middle a lot, obviously you're going to be more exposed. Now you can expand, you can stay safe, but in the corners there's just a lot of wood lines, and this is going to be an issue when it comes to trade. So like, as much as trading and diplomacy is important in these games to eventually work towards more resources and protection for your king, it is not going to be easy to do that. And you can see the chat already. Klavskis says, where is your TC, Kami? Klavskis plays a lot of team games, as does Kamigawa, and Kamigawa is next to you. So, I mean, maybe we're going to have Kamigawa and Klavskis work together here. We'll see. But it does seem to me like Backed and King Boo at least are going to have some type of an alliance here. You can see the overall eco situation here. And we probably won't have any action for quite a while. Klavska says, do you think it's going to be like the other games, 3v3 or something? Yeah, I mean, that's what a lot of the other games turned into. They would like, 2 players would be killed off. And then after that, it would be a 3v3 for a while, which I thought was pretty freaking epic. Backed says, oh shit. And I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why. Oh, he allies himself to Vinch. He must have realized he's close to Vinchester. Yeah, look, he's trying to talk to Vinchester. He's like, hey, Vinch. And Vinch is like, question mark? Okay. The Kamigawa definitely wants to set up a 3v3 pact. Now, this will be interesting, because if that's going to be the case, it's like both of these 2v2 teams that are established are going to try and get Vinch. Vinch is like the free agent right now. Now, they're talking about the strength of Gray. As Vinch sets a lot of people to neutral, which is like, Diplo 101, never do that. And King Boo's like, neutral Vinch, what's going on here? That's not good. But anyways, Gray here. He's playing as the Celts. I feel like Celts could have some real problems against the Mongols and against the Byzantines in this game, so you might want to be allied with those civs. Vinch says, no idea. What does it mean? And King Boo says, let's be friend. Bact says, let's me friend. Vinch is now being talked to by pretty much everyone. Vinch is like... Vinch is like the hottest girl in the room right now, and everyone's walking up to him like, hey, want to be friends? Our base, meanwhile, says, let's be friends for 8 hours. So let's talk about that. So Russell and our base have found themselves in a position which helps them so much. We saw instances in this event where we did have lower elo players in with the pros, and they were not treated kindly at all. They were absolutely wrecked. And with that in mind, it's because they didn't really have people they could trust next to them. And the pros saw them as easy kills. Arbase and Russell are both bottom score. They're next to each other. And they're not really like... No one's talking about killing them right now. King Boo is talking to Russell. King Boo will be a little more familiar with Russell and Arbase, I think. Versus the other players who don't play in my community games as much. Klavska says, yo, player 7, you want a 3v3 with me and Cammy. Now, player 7 needs a team of some kind. You are going to see a lot of that. If you're ever confused as to which player is which, you can see the number next to their names, FYI. He says, sure, where is he? He says, where is he? Okay, and he's like, yeah, he's next to me. All right, perfect. Winchester's king. There seems to be a little bit of the occasional pop-up for Winchester's king. And that is because Winchester is not allied to people. So I don't think Winchester is really... Yeah, there he goes. Now he allies Bact. Again, not hugely experienced with these settings, maybe. But I do truly feel like King Boo and Bact are going to work together, and I think Bact is going to want to work alongside Vinch. So I think that could work out. Lots of conversation, people. Lots of conversation. I'm very happy with this. I'm a big fan. Obviously, we can't see when people are aging up, but it's fairly obvious. Backed, ally, ally, ally. Allies everyone. I like how it says 139 years of enmity. He will... Am I even saying that word right? Enmity? I think that's right, but it doesn't sound right. He will be one for you to friend and Russell to snipe. Did you... That's interesting. So King Boo is kind of... telling these guys what to do up here. All right. Well, for Bact, he's not on stone yet. But Bohemians can pull off some crazy fast castles. I'm looking. He's already on the way up to Castle Age. So a lot of players hitting feudal. He's on the way to Castle Age. Of course, has taken advantage of that hunt in the middle. More than other players. Other players haven't done that as much. Like, we have not seen that too much from these two, though I guess they're a little further away. Klavska says, so your side is orange and green. So your side is super chill. Cammy's side is backed Vinch. I still feel like Vinch is up for grabs here. I still feel like if people talk to Winchester, he might ally with them. Like, Winchester's definitely the one that's going to be the most important here. But I'm loving all the diplomacy chat. But this could be aggressive, and this could be crazy early, as Kamigawa is on stone, guys. And if you look at the stockpiles, you can see there are a few players on stone. Russell's on stone with the Mongols. You've got the Turk player on stone, and you've also got 2 on stone from King Boo, who's Koreans. And that could all lead to a fast castle. Or Cammy holds, we push player 8, player 3. I don't know. We'll see what Vinch and Back does. Feels like Arbase and King Boo, they're both really active in my Discord. I kind of feel like there might have been some pre-Diplo. Because there's just been this immediate trust and conversation between King Boo and our base. Orange wants peace with me, so we can ignore him, I think, says Gray. Love how they're trying to figure this out. They're trying to formulate a game plan. And Backed says, Vinch, we peace to the end. Okay, question mark. Which I think would benefit these two because, like, what happened in some of the other games is you had some of the pro players threatened by each other, so they'd kill each other, right? Or they'd work with other people to kill the other pro. But then, like, the pro's always the target at the end. The top guy's always the target. And Vinch also just needed someone to tell him, hey, you're with me. And Vinch is okay. I don't mind this. Duck Trouble says, I want to tribute gold to Russell from the outside. Please make it possible, T90. No! You can't sling from chat. Klavskis is Backed is booming. Of course, he is allied with Backed right now, right? So the only player that's not really allied with everyone without a lot of vision is Vinchester. By the way, both. Can you see everything I say to others too? He's just making sure the chat settings are correct, possibly. He says full transparency. Oh, no, he's not asking. He's telling. He's like, I will not talk behind anyone's backs. I don't find that easy to believe with King Boo. I think that's a good thing for King Boo to say, though. Also, I'm going to remove the whole market events because that gets cluttery. As well as tribute events. We don't need that. Again, trade will be important in the long term. I feel like a strategy for orange and for green is just stay out of the way. Get to the corner, open up some space by chopping the trees, and then eventually hope to trade. But, like, you don't want any conflict here. And apparently no one else wants conflict. But I still think we're going to see a castle drop. Eventually for Teal. It would make sense with Turks to want to go for Janissaries, but he went for the TCs first for the better economic approach. And then you could always drop a castle here. A chat sling? That would be a nightmare. That would be an absolute nightmare. Not for Russell, though. Russell would be enjoying it. Do not worry about the walls, friends. My peasants told me they would not work unless I built them. They're quite paranoid, says Russell. Did they happen to mention anything about the odd shape of the walls? They must not care about that. So I suppose he wanted to get the stone. Okay, this makes sense, actually. I take that back. It was an easy opportunity for a joke, and I took it. I'm sorry, Russell. All right. You want me to leave Tribute open? I guess Tribute will never happen. And if it does, we'll want to see it. So I'll leave that on there. Yeah, that's a good point. Not the biggest deal. Let's look at the overall Vil counts now. Well, Kamigawa actually out-booming Vinchester and out-booming Backed ever so slightly. You do have Vinchester at 38. Whoa, that's really low. Like, he's 6 ahead of Russell right now. Let's go, Russell. Our base thinking about trades says, who do we trade with? Now, Civ-wise, Saracens did stand out to me as a little surprising. Now, they do have a lot of options as a civilization. I don't necessarily think they're bad. But we just haven't seen players prefer civilizations at all. Bohemians we saw dominate and do very well in certain situations. Of course, you have to remember Vinchester picked second to last and Backed picked last. So the way we do the pick order of civilizations, the strongest players always pick last. And Backed's king. See, it says is threatened by Kamigawa. That's not actually the case. But it's because they're not allied. Kamigawa has not accepted Backed's alliance. And so if his horse runs by a king, the game, their capture age sees it as military, which is understandable. Our base is even out booming Vinchester. Yeah, he is. And Gray says we could try to get Boo on our side, attack from both sides. And Klaska says he is super far. Yeah, buddy, you could always use a double agent. You could always use a double agent. See, Klaskus is smart, though. And I really hope he doesn't hear me say that in the recording, because I've known him for a while. But he understands how these games play out. You need to get 2 allies. You need to work together. And if you can maintain the top 3, that's where all the prize pool goes anyways, right? 250 for first, 150 for second, and 100 for third. Backed is all chat on. They gonna team. Bleep. Careful. Okay, so Klavskus is maybe looking at chat history. Oh, God. So Backed hasn't been chatting specifically to individuals. It's not like Klavska saw anything that we didn't. I think he paged up like I'm doing now on this program. I think he looked Finch, Wheat, piece to the end, okay from backed. Probably went to everyone. And so Klavskas just realizes that now because he was busy before. Could be a big problem. We have seen Turks do well in Regicide Rumble 4. We have seen Bohemians do well in Regicide Rumble 4. I'm trying to think of winning civilizations. Koreans has done well. Byzantines has done well. Celts not so much. Spanish has done well. All the other civs have not yet really shine. Same, but Cammy will attack me. Wait, what is this? Klavska says only wildcard is Vinch at the moment. I don't know if he's teaming with Backed. Cammy will attack me. I will need help, I think. Backed, I will get an alliance with Green and Orange, says King Boo. Still feels like I'm missing some chat. Oh, I can secure a trade if you help versus Vinch. Backed said I won't fight you till top 3. He was saying that to King Boo. And then Vinchester thought he was saying it to him, I think. It said same, but Cammy will attack me. So, like, kudos to Backed for understanding the Diplo side. He doesn't know that there's a chat menu where you can change who you're chatting to, though. So if anything, I was expecting it to be the opposite. No offense to Backed. I was thinking Vinchester would know the Diplo side and not the chat. So we kind of have Vinchester looking like a fish out of water here with these settings. I mean, this could be really bad for Vinchester if his boom is still behind. It's 88 Vils versus 102. It's not great. Plus, you've got a castle up, so you know Janissaries are going to be coming out of there. But I say that, and there's not a single Janissary, so... I think we need to kill Arg early. He hasn't said much. Ooh, R-base, the 1500. Them fighting words. Them be fighting words, okay. I mean, I don't mind that, right? Because their concern is going to be that they get pushed by this trio over here. But remember, it's not just a trio. Like, I don't think Russell's actually in the conversation between King Boo and R-base. But our base is definitely siding with whatever King Boo's going to do. Russell very much loves our base, but I don't think Russell knows that our base is talking to other people. Sad, sad story there. Okay, making markets now backed, says King Boo. Again, it won't be the most ideal trade. Like, they cannot get to this corner at all. And even if they chop a tree or something, that's going to be a pain. Don't make a lumber camp here. Oh! I guarantee we chops through that. That's funny. That's funny. Russell's even going to give our base a relic right now. But remember, there's a lot of gold and there's a lot of stone in towards the middle. I'm going to check imp times right now to see if we have it. Doesn't look like we have it for Vinchester yet. I mean, Turks with a faster imp here could be devastating. And yeah, 70% of the way to imp. We already have the Siege Workshop. Turks get chemistry for free. I kind of feel like we're going to see Bombard Towers from Kamigawa because he's also going to stone. Maybe Bombard Towers, Bombard Cannons. Klavskas now laughing. And I'm not sure why. He says market's here, I guess. And maybe he realized that the market situation's not going to be great. Wagons, I likes his R base. And that would, I assume, be from King Boo. Though I haven't really seen any wagons from him. There are also wagons from Backed. Oh, Backed's doing wagons too. And wait, what is this? What is this? Okay, so there's a wall. This is cheeky from Kamigawa. He actually built a wall here to block off the trade route. Also, it's kind of funny how Vinch is just peacefully farming behind all this. Okay. I know 11 is laugh, but what is 111? That's like, you know how someone says lol? And then someone could also say LMAO? Or instead of LMAO, it's like LMAO. For Age of Empires players, if there's more than just 11, that just means it was slightly funnier. So the more ones you have, the funnier it is. As Bax now turns on Kamigawa, kills the villager that was hiding. And he realizes that this was an issue, so he's got to clear that up. And now that's a declaration of war, but Kamigawa was never really friends with Bact in the first place. So it's going to go down here. It seems like Bact and Vinch are going to work together. However, Bact is with other players. Vinchester just seems to be allied with Green, and he seems to be allied with Blue, and that's it. He's not allied with King Boo at all right now. Also, Bact says too small. He's definitely talking about the trade route, guys, okay? Calm down. We've got 4 markets going up, and King Boo says we'll get Onager. Now, I think Klavskus is laughing because he's seeing the chat from Bact right now. I believe that to be the case. Like, I think he's loving how Bact is just chatting to everyone. And keep in mind, Bact is, like, kind of allied with everyone, except for Kamigawa right now. So I think, like, Klavskus has played in these settings before, and I think he's, like, giggling to himself right now. Because Bact is feeding information. He says, we could team Vinch, push in backside, then kill Vinch. See, I think this is a little too late for this conversation, right? You have that chat 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, I think Vinch might take you up on it. But I think in Vinch's mind, he is going to be with Bact here. All right. Again, $25 per King Snipe. $250 for first, $150 for second, $100 for third. Thank you again to Capture Age. This is running very smoothly today. Thank you for everything. Obviously, still takes a lot of getting used to. For me, it's new, it's different, but it is so nice to be able to track the Kings and just zoom in and out and just all the usual Capture Age stuff. Thank you to everyone. This composition seems like it's absolutely ridiculous for Bact. He's got these Hussite wagons. He's going to have probably Hufnitze, but he's got bomber cannons for now. And now Kamigawa turns on King Boo. And Klavskus realizes, like, oh god, okay, they're working together. And this is like a really strong trio. Bact, Vinchester, and King Boo. King Boo says, Cammy, enemy me. Yeah, it's going to go down here, guys. It is going to go down. Now we've got Cav Archers. We've got Hussars. Vinchester now allies King Boo. King Boo says, this is threat. And our base. And Russell hear that. So it's actually like 5v3 right now, if anything. And Arg says, maybe we team with Orange and Green too. And Klavskus is like, you can ask him. Oh, you guys are way too late for that conversation. You guys are way too late to that conversation. Okay, well, that castle's going to melt for Kamigawa. He's sending Hussars this way. I think he's trying to raid some of the gold miners. This is obviously really important on this map to take as much gold and stone as possible. This is... It feels like a 5v3, though I don't think everyone knows it's a 5v3. I think Bact and Vinchester are benefiting from King Boo's Diplo with the other two. Also interesting how King Boo's get, like, random pink everywhere. Like, he's got his villagers here. His king's in the corner. I don't like that, but I love how he cut the trade. Orange, are you interested in teaming with me, Teal and Red? Looks like Bact is going to attack us. See, this is good Diplo, but it's clear to me you haven't played in a Diplo game before, Arg. This is... The people who have played in these games have already had those conversations. AKA King Boo. Arbase says that's a very scary alliance to be a part of. I bet you any money Arbase immediately snitches. I bet you he immediately snitches. I don't know why we have siege towers here for Bact. This is a funny siege army, I have to say. Okay. Green's king is going to go back further. Arg is getting suspicious, says Orange. Okay. We also have the onager cutting. This is good long-term planning. Look at this. Okay, we have Hussars now into Bact's eco. That's annoying. We'll have some pointy boys or helps to come help. And Kamigawa really needs some support here, though. Like, he doesn't have any help. And what's the help going to be? Oh, elite cataphracts. Honestly, guys, katas, I think they should wreck here. Oh, man, I think they should do so well. Look, there's even units inside the siege towers. Lavska says, I'll get siege ram, or Kelt, you get siege ram. Yeah, that would be best to have the Kelt player go siege ram. We're also going to have elite woads. So maybe I'm wrong. I think this trio could actually push back in Vinch. Vinch isn't really doing much. He seems to be just chilling right now. He's going to be making arbs. And our base is also going to move his king further back. I think they look at Gray right now, and they're really unsure what Gray's going to do. And it doesn't seem like they're exactly accepting Gray's proposal right now either. I'm cutting a path in the back. So, yes, green and orange, not interested in any conflict right now. King Boo is saying we have 3 corners. Gray is saying orange is scared. So he's passing the information along. Meanwhile, we have the Turk player fighting with his Cav Archers. 100 HP Turk Cav Archers is not bad. And then we've got Cataphracts for red, who now enemies backed. And so the fight begins, but Cataphract's Cav Archer will dominate here. This is a very hard composition to stop. I think you would have to have the Korean player on War Wagon. And then the Saracen player maybe on his own Cav Archers. I'm honestly not sure. I love how in these games we have seen how players who are not in that top 10, not in that top 20, are so much more experienced in maybe what to go for, when to engage. It's not the first time we've seen someone who's not in the top 10 in these games with top 10 be the top scorer and be dictating the pace of the game. Obviously, Civs does play its role. I think Bohemians have some weaknesses, but we'll see. And you have Vinch saying, player 6, I need trade. So he's just now talking to King Boo. And now he's getting pushed. He wants to go Elite Mamelukes. But Vinchester's got to be careful here. Got to be really careful. And Vinch, kill Cammy and we trade. Then you can ally me, says King Boo. And Vinch is like, I'm fighting him already. I imagine this isn't making Vinchester feel too good. Already taking engagements. Backed will come help. Seems like King Boo will also come help. Gray hasn't took an engagement yet. Like, Gray hasn't fought yet, which is fascinating. Because the longer he doesn't fight, the more red might not trust him. And I feel like you never want to be enemy to Byzantines if you're Celts. Unless you've got some crazy siege numbers. Byzantines should dominate with their Cataphracts. And, oh, look at the push back! The push backed! The king backed! No, I can't do it. All 3 players are here. They immediately go after Kamigawa. And this is where you need to have those Woad Raiders. Woad Raiders would be a massive help here. We're not seeing it from Gray. Is Gray possibly thinking about something else? King Boo is saying, thank you, Vinchester. The Cav Archers are getting smashed. Here goes choo-choo. Siege Tower into the base. That's merely a distraction. I'm loving the fact we're seeing Elite Mamelukes. Also, Backed just put his king here, by the way. You can see that on the minimap because Capture Age is freaking cool. Alright. So here come the Woadies. But now, if you're Gray, you're like, well, this guy's kind of dying, so do I want to help him? I think the answer is yes, and... Oh! He's got a turn! He patrolled there. He's going to the settings. He turns on Backed, and goodbye to your Hufnitze, Backed. And Backed is going to be like, what? See, Backed was allied with Gray this whole time. Now, King Boo is telling Russell and telling our base to snipe. He's telling him to snipe Gray when Gray is busy. So, I mean, the Mangadai are ready. That would be a big problem for Gray. No Vinch. Go convince player 8 then. This Klavskis. Wait, what? Oh, I think Klavskis is saying we can't ally Vinch. So we have to talk to the players in the north. So they're trying to convince people, but it might be a little too late for them. They said they wanted this to be a 3v3, but they forgot about the other 2 in the north. And I think the 2 in the north, Klavska says, player 8, this is your time. As he turns on Vinch. Must not have been turned on him for some reason. I mean, the other thing is if you're our base and Russell, do you benefit from turning right now? You might not, because then you just gain more enemies than you want. It definitely seems like this is not going to be too good for Klavskis, Kamigawa, and Argo. It's so funny to me that Klavskis says we can 5v3 them. This is so funny. He's so clueless. He has no clue what is actually going to happen. Okay. Lavskus is trying to speak with basic words, and thanks to E, won't let it happen. Kamigawa's like, what? And now Klavskus says, I'm writing walk to Kami. So he couldn't say walk. Thanks to E. Gotta love it. Orange, you with us, says Gray. I think Gray's gonna see these paladins and be worried about this. And Orange says yes. I somehow don't believe that. We now have a signal here, and that signal on the map is from Vinch. So people are noticing this from Orange right now. And I don't think Gray trusts him. I think we're going to see... Okay, Orange is saying snipe now. So Orange is actually going to go for a snipe here, I believe. This is a pretty eventful moment. Meanwhile, we have a push back from Klavskus, a push back from Kamigawa. And Klavskus fully believes that Orange is with them. It says, Orange, ask Green to join us, please. This looks pretty suspicious. If I'm Gray, I attack ground right now on those bombard cannons. But he's typing. He says, hey, Green, want to join us against pros? Oh, God. Oh, and Orange makes the move against Gray. Will he keep his king alive? Our base with the backstab. Or the front stab, honestly. It wasn't really that much of a surprise. Castle will go down. But the king is still alive in the castle. And Green is actually responding to Gray saying, yeah, that sounds fun. Who can I attack for you? And if I were Gray, I would say attack Orange. Will the king pop out here? There's actually still going to be a tower. This is going to be really close. Okay, there's no king yet. The king is still inside of that castle. Meanwhile, the fight continues here. Actually, Gray could eject his own king with his siege hunters. He's got to be careful. And Gray will survive this. Gray will survive this. But now, okay. Russell shows up and says, Gray, I will help versus Orange, but he's getting smashed by the SO. Gray has learned his lesson. He doesn't trust him. And he wants to stay alive in this game. He's like, no. Russell says, Gray, I will help versus Orange, and then immediately changes chat settings to say lying. I think he was telling his teammate, hey, that's actually a joke. But he got called out there, and he got wrecked. And his Trebs have to roll home. And if I'm Argo, I tell my team, hey, we're screwed right now. This is going to be a 5v3. We don't have them. I repeat, we do not have Orange and Green with us. And so good from Russell to play dumb here. He's like, oh, I was coming to help. I love it. Grace is sure. Now, obviously, if you're wondering, like, why are we not seeing as much chat from Teal and Red? They're busy, right? And Klavskus notices it now. He's like, come on, Green and Orange. Team us against the pros. But look at the trade already. Why would they ever turn when they're planning on trading this way? There was so much pre-planning to work with that corner. Anyways, Kamigawa's king is moving away from this, but it really does feel like it's a numbers problem. Not to mention a unit comp problem. We've got Siege Onager. We've got Hufnitze. We've got Mamelukes. We've got Halbs. It's just such a diverse army composition right now for Winchester and Bact. And Gray says they're going to steamroll you later. And I think he's trying to use that to get Orange and Green to decide to work with him. But I think they can worry about later. That's future R-Base and future Russell's problem. You have to make any alliance proposals make sense. And saying, hey, team against the pros was never going to be enough. Setting up the trade in the early stages was really what did it. And R-Base and Russell, I would really like to see a timeline here where R-Base and Russell eventually turn on Bact and Winchester. And I think that might happen with King Boo. I think King Boo is in a really good position to make that happen later. Also, gotta love how Bact is just stealing that relic in the middle of the battle. Like, what a god. Somehow able to do all that. Here comes Gray. Gray's now pushing Orange. And so Gray is not happy about this. And he's now yelling at Orange, like, Orange, team us, or I will kill you. This is good. This is good. See, this is what you have to resort to in this situation, I guess. Oh, man, that Siege Onager dodge from Kamigawa was beautiful. He could have lost everything there. And so they're still like, come on, guys, come on. And now R-Base says, okay, let's go for yellow. Are they allied now? Bleep, bleep, bleep as well. This is Klavskis. Here, hold on. Let me... As well. There we go. Got to make it as realistic as possible when I read the chat. Can't say any bad words on stream. They have Spanish trade, King Boo. Let's fight normal. Ooh, interesting. Okay, I'm kind of good with them. But we're going to Vinch. That's good for us. Wait. So our base is telling Green we're going to go to Vinchester. I don't know if that's good for them, though. Not now, anyways. The thing is, they don't have Spanish trade. Vinch is incorrect. In Diplo games, only the Spanish player benefits from having the Spanish trade. People allied with the Spanish do not. And, wow, Orange turns on Vinch. But now, like, I think King Boo and Backed will be upset with this. And now Gray is allied with Orange. So Orange is no longer... I guess he was worried he was going to die. He's no longer under threat by Gray. And now Gray will come over here too. And Vinch says Backed lets all in army now. Because I think he realizes that this is going to end up being bad for them. Boo is not going to be happy. He's going to ask base to switch back. But maybe Russell and our base are going to switch sides. The two lowest elo players are the most desirable allies right now. Okay. Yeah, look, he says leave Vinch. And then our Russell says try to snipe back, and King Boo says not yet. Yeah, so these low elo players, the 1100 and the 1500 elo players, it's just unique. We haven't seen this all weekend long. They are the players that matter the most when it comes to alliances right now. Their trade position is the most covetable, and their help is the most covetable. And our base says, I fight versus Vinch. You guys snipe. So this is like all over the place now. The flow is gone, and this really gives an opportunity for these three players who were struggling to stay alive here. Is that true with every team bonus? Yes, it is. I can understand why Vinch would think that. It's a very common question I get on community game days. But yes, the only player that benefits from having the Spanish trade would be the Spanish player in this case. And there's tons of trade right now. Like, let's look at their stockpiles. There's their stockpiles, guys. There are some players struggling with gold, namely Vinch. But yeah, this is crazy. And so now Gray is asking Green for peace, because he is already peaceful with Orange. But Orange is attacking the players who are fighting against his allies on the other side. Like, this doesn't really make sense. It really doesn't make sense. Cammy, Treb cut. And now you have our base saying Backed is with Vinch. And no way! Oh my god, this is amazing. Vinch says, Russell, we're going to be 4v3. We at least need you to kill player H trade. So, like, Russell and our base have been buddy-buddy this whole game. And now Russell's going to be like, And he says, will do, man. No way. Does he actually do it, though? Can you imagine? If it turns into a 4v4, but we have players who are like, they're up in each other's business here. Like, all the trade's going to die if they do that. I don't think Green will actually do that. I think that's bad for him. He says, I'm onager cutting to Vinch's king. Are you, though? Keep him busy. I don't see anything. I'll keep an eye on it. I think he's lying. And now our base says, is Teal with us? He's trading with Green. This is wild. Okay, he's talking to Red. He says, okay, then it's good. You need to fight with gold, or we just lose 4v3 player 6. Now, here's the thing. King Boo's got 8k gold, but he understands that he hasn't been... Look at this. He's playing the late game here. And King Boo's going to play dumb. He's like, Arch? Arb? What do I make? Arbalest? Oh, Siege Onager and War Wagon's my strongest units. Oh, that makes sense. King Boo's like, ah, damn it. I don't want to waste my gold right now. But yeah, he probably should do that. Oh my god, guys. Oh my god. He wasn't kidding. He was not kidding. the 1100 elo player, the replacement for Velez, who could not play today, is on the way. I want to try to snipe Vinch come player 8 with Paladins, says Klavskis. But if they only knew... Let me double check here. Where is that thing? Oh my god, Vinchester. Oh my god, Vinchester. Why would you not put it in the castle? Here come the Mangadai. Here comes the Onager. Vinch is very distracted. Vinch is a top 10 1v1 player. Top 10 in the world. I don't think there's any dispute these days that he's within that top 10. Now, what you can do here if you're Russell is you can attack round the tower. There will be no attack signal for Vinch because you're allied with him. So you attack round the tower, have that thing eject, and then have your Mangadai waiting for it. Obviously, you'd have to turn for the Mangadai to attack. He's cutting around the backside right now. Vinchester has not noticed. He's microing big time. And over here, I think they're going to do a cut so red can run in, but they don't know that green is doing this for them right now. So you attack around the tower, and then when it's about... And then you sit your Mangadai here. Like, you don't move your Mangadai from here. This game's over for Vinchester as long as Russell doesn't do 1100 elo things. Literally, game's over for Vinch. Game is over for Vinch. Sit your Mangadai here. Sit your Mangadai here. Please sit your Mangadai here. Sit your Mangadai here. Here. Back here's fine. You can get that. You better sit your Okay, you can turn on him now. Because regardless of if he runs or not, your Mangadai are going to shoot them. What you don't want is for that tower gather point to be... Oh, no! Vinchester noticed! Vinchester noticed! But I think he only noticed because red was running through. And we've got a big side push versus Vinchester. Green's like, this is awkward. I'm so sorry. And Vinchester noticed. And Vinch is not going to be happy about that. Vinch actually has Mamelukes in the trade route to hit Orange's trade, but that will now also hit Green's trade. So all their trade might die. Wow, man. And it is still possible for Vinchester to die to this. So I guess if there's any consolation here for Russell, he still might get the snipe. And of course, $25 goes towards the player who ends up killing this king. We've got a lot of people here. Here comes Vinchester to save himself as he hits top score. But his king is inside of that castle, my friends. Can he survive? Oh, he micros down the Siege Onager, which is good. He also microed down the Mangadai, which is really smart. He used his castle against that, guys. If he sets his gather point to here, he might actually survive this. He might actually survive it. No way. The Rams come in for Russell, obviously too late. And Vinchester is going to live. Wow. What a ridiculous job from Vinch, honestly. I think it was a little unfortunate for Russell that the others tried to make a run for Vinch at the same time. Russell, had he sat his Mangadai in front of the gate and just turned on Vinch early, regardless of the lack of surprise there, it would have been over for Vinchester. But, again, Russell, the lowest elo player in our game here, they now are going to have to pick up on this, which might take them some time. No, he notices. And Vinch says, let's kill player 3. He almost killed me, and we lost side. And now, Arbe says, boo, Russell, what are we up to? And Bax says, yes. So Russell might actually be in big trouble now. Look at Bax camping between his bombard towers here. King Boo says he can wait. Bigger threat is red, teal, and gray. Yeah, King Boo doesn't want any engagements on his side, that's for sure. Let's say goodbye to skirmishers there, Klavskis. Arbase says, I don't think so. So I think Arbase might legitimately turn on Russell here, but I'm not entirely sure right now. Also, he's had this one onager here attacking the same piece of ground for like an hour. Arbase says, if Vinch is dead, Bact will join us. But I think he's talking to Klavskis right now. I don't know. Red saved Vinchester. I mean, he almost killed Vinchester as well. I really think that, you know, that's just where experience comes into play. And, you know, Russell's heart was beating a mile a minute there, so you have to feel for him. He's going to rewatch that and be frustrated with himself. But look at this. You know, I'm not so sure that Bact, King Boo, and Vinchester can't just push this right here. They going for Cammy, says Klavskis. And yes, Vinchester says, we can kill Cammy with all. Let's go player 3. Hey, ladies and gents, what a game of Diplo. Sorry, that clap was really loud. I don't know if you heard that. What a game of Diplo we have here. This is amazing. This is amazing. Green, we need some help here, says Klavskis. I don't think Green wants to do that. But he does have a lot of stuff right now. You look at the stockpiles. He's got a lot of res, as do others, of course. This is great. And Cammy could just disappear to this. Like, there's so much siege. More castles are going down. His siege is actually going to go down here. Oh, God. Cataphracts and camels come in. Camels aren't so good against katas, but I think Mamelukes are going to be pretty good, and there's just so much. Russell says, this time I get him. Who, though? I mean, that's going to be easier to spot, too. That's kind of the problem. That will be easier to spot. But Russell's not going to give up. All right, so Vinchester. He went back into the freaking tower with his king. Bro, what the... Okay, well, he's got a gate there. Whatever. All right. The other thing is he might not be looking for green right now. I'm really curious as to how this all goes. Look at the military stats there. Look at the total kills for Vinchester. Those Mamelukes have proven their worth. Of course, Bax, KD's probably a little better. He's got these Hufnitzes just hitting from range. This group of Hufnitze has 90 kills. Okay, Teal's King has moved further back where he's still making towers. They've still got trade, and the trade, if anything, should only get a little better. I'm curious about Gray. Gray's just sitting here. He clearly doesn't trust his team. Now, what's happening is Klavskis is getting pushed. Kamigawa's getting pushed because Gray's not helping and because Orange isn't helping. But I don't know if it necessarily makes sense for those players to help. Vinchester says, stop, ally with player 3 and player 8. Vinchester is, say what you want, but he is spot on, and he sees this. He is spot on. He knows those two are trouble. He knows those two low elo players are trouble up there. King Boo says, we will kill them after Kamigawa. They are noobs. However, they are noobs that are a massive thorn in Vinch's side, and Bax doesn't trust them either. And oh boy, you know what happens is I think if Russell and Arbase are killed off, I think that's bad for King Boo in the long run. I think Boo is really planning on using those guys for his cause. I like how Russell just immediately runs away. He brought a bigger force. It was easier to spot, and now he's got backed as an enemy. So he's like, damn it. Ah, now they hate me too. And so he says, are you with Perp and Orange? I think who's he talking to here? Are you with Perp and Orange? Who would he be talking to? I'm not sure, but here comes Gray to lend a helping hand. Oh, big shots. Oh my god, those Hufnitze are insane with Bohemians. That was ridiculous. Russell says, no attack, be nice. Okay, I have no clue who he's talking to. I'll look at the overall military stats if you're curious. No surprise that the players who've been fighting nonstop have tons of kills. You've got Arbase with 60 and Russell with 21. Low confidence players realizing they don't want to make waves. They want to keep people happy. Russell's tried for some big snipes, though. Is he going to snipe? No way Russell turns on Arbase now. He says, can you open wall for a sec? Snipe Gray. That would be interesting. But that helps Vinchester. That actually, in a way, helps Vinchester and Back to now hate him. Arbase says it's just the two pros, right? It's a yes, yes. Boo as well. Yeah, so they're talking. I think Orange is kind of officially with Gray, Red, and Teal. But that wall was deleted by Orange, so he might be giving up Gray. And now we're going to see Russell make his switch. Now, Gray's just had these siege onagers here on patrol for a long time, just in case. And Arbase says, I'm confused. I could definitely sense the confusions there. And let's see if this will actually work here. You could use Mangadai against the siege onagers. But Micro is hard. Arbase says, you better hurry. And this could be the end for Gray. I know it hasn't been the most convincing, but if the wall goes down, then the siege onagers go down. The king is in there. You don't need much. when you're talking Mongols, but you do need more manga dye. King Boo has just sent some food, as did Back. Send food over to Vinchester. Vinchester's got his allies. He knows who they are. Russell doesn't have chemistry, indeed. He's also lacking some other upgrades. But again, low elo legend player, high stress environment, was not meant to ever play amongst these elos. And our base doesn't trust green now. Oh my god, this is so dramatic. This is so dramatic. The thing is, Gray going down makes it easier for Vinchester and Bax to push Kamigawa and to push Klavskas. I understand Gray hasn't been very helpful here, to be honest. Gray seems very selfish, but still. Look at Bact. He's converting a Siege Onager. That's so cool. Russell says oof. And did I miss it? Did he lose everything else, or is he running away now? I'm not sure exactly. And he says, fill your wall, our base. Fill your wall. Okay. Gray might be mad. Gray might be mad. I don't think Gray really noticed it, though. Oh, God, we've got a traffic jam. Oh, we should have known better than to go out at rush hour. Oh, geez, that's bad. And it doesn't show up as idols either, so this just only gets worse. What they need is to Onager cut that. It's also not at a great time for them because they are still struggling. Kamigawa's losing castle after castle. Gray is finally going to send that help, but you have to question why it didn't come in a bit earlier. And here go Mamelukes now for Vinchester. However, he could lose all these Mamelukes. Come on, Gray. Attack round. Okay, he sees the siege. He realizes the guy doesn't notice. Boom, taking it down. He's going to make a run for it. He's going to make a run for that trade. He's going to make it into the trade. That's going to clear it up. Klavskas, I think, probably said SO cut. I didn't see a signal, but maybe to clear that up. Ting, 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 ting. How many hits does it take to kill one of these wagons with halbs? And now Vinchester is allying Orange again. Which is good for Orange. But now all this trade's going to go down to Mamelukes. Yeah, this is going to be a disaster. And Klavskas is realizing this. And I think he realizes that they're falling apart. This might be the first game we haven't seen a death in the first 90 minutes. I forget, though. I love the idea from Back to convert Onagers and then... Oh! So good! And then do that. Vinchester now declaring war on Orange again. Orange maybe didn't realize the proposal was there. Orange trying to defend the trade. I feel like this is a good opportunity for Russell to try and snipe. It's like everyone else is fighting the main battle. Let's look at the stockpiles again, guys. Backed with 14k gold. Our base with 23k gold. Boo does have a lot of gold workers, which you have to imagine is traders, but not as much as Backed. I think he's got a lot of miners out there still, but I could be wrong. Actually, it should tell us trade somewhere, right? Trade 77. I am wrong. Holy crap. Backed has 77 trade cards. That is unreal. I guess if you think about it, he's not fighting with a lot of military. He's just fighting with really effective military. Monks. And he's probably... The monks probably don't even cost him gold right now because he probably got his unique tech. And also the Hufnite. On trade, I think still kind of an issue. No, this gets cleared up. I think the writing might be on the wall now. Got a little raid here from Kamigawa. This is going to be an effective raid on Mr. Vinchester. But short-lived. Will be dealt with. We're seeing King Boo land some shots over here. Orange, get green on our side, please. It's so funny to me. It's so funny to me how Russell and our base's alliances have dictated so much of this. Gray says, we need to snipe someone or get green to us, or we're just going to die. And Klavsisk says, ask green to snipe. Right after Russell says, what's the situation? Honestly, I feel like Russell wants to kill stuff. Russell's like... I'm trying to think of an example. Russell just wants to kill. So I think that they could maybe convince Russell to turn against someone. And Gray says, green, come on. You'll get flattened third time. Join us. Orange says, I think green is in too deep with backed. He's not responding. No, I don't believe that's the case. Russell says, okay. Russell's like, oh, you want me to kill? Like, I think Russell just wants to be wanted right now. Russell wants to be needed. If they show value, Russell's going to go for it. I think he'll flip. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's going to go after Boo. I think he's going to go after Boo. For real, though, need to kill pros or they will win. And get a 1-2 third king Boo. Yeah, that's what he's saying. Arg is actually spot on here. I think that's kind of what would happen. Sounds good, my friend. I just don't want to die. I like it. I like it. This is a great game. Russell says, ally me. Okay, Russell's going to be back with orange. He's joining gray. Russell is switching sides. He's defecting. Arg has allied himself to Russell. King Boo, his only mistake was not talking to Russell. I think Russell just needed a little bit of chit-chat. Gray is I'm pretty sure he meant to say allying me, but again, we can't say basic words in this game because we're all children, apparently. He says allying, thanks to E. Thank you, Russell. You know what I'm talking about. I like how he even respells thanks to E, just for the fans out there. I like it. Russell's a man of the people. By the way, why do we not have an on-off filter for that dumb chat filter? Like, why is that even something we joke about at this point? Anyways. Push player 6 with this, snipe his king, and we win easy. Why not Vinch first, says our base. Or Vinch. Okay, our base is doing it based on the score. Again, you've got to tell Russell. Someone just needs to say, hey, Russ, there. It's like, Russell's like growing up, my brother was 11 years older than me. And so, like, I'd want to hang out with his friend group, right? And they'd be like, Tristan, run laps around the field. And I'd be like, do I really got to run laps around the field? They're like, yeah, do it. I'd be like, okay. And I'd run the laps. And I'd come back and like, what next? He's like, go get me an iced tea from the fridge. I'd like, okay. I just do all their bidding because I just wanted to hang out. I wanted to chill with the crew. And here, our base is, you know, he wants to do some stuff. He wants to be involved. Orange hasn't really been buddy-buddy with him recently, so he feels like he needs a friend. So he's going to run circles around whatever field people want him to run circles around. And Russell says, new strat. What's this new strategy? Get Parthian tactics? Get bloodlines? Get chemistry? One of those three would be a great strat for you right now, Russ. Okay, new strat. Be so bad that no one wants to kill you. 11. Fail after fail. Hey, that's a good strategy there, buddy. Life is all about perspective. That's what I always say, okay? A lot of people might see that as a bad thing, but if you don't see it as a bad thing, you're good. We just need to push this place, says Vinch. Vinch is probably astounded at how crazy of a fight this is. And honestly, the fact that the teal's still alive, the red's still alive, that they're still fighting here is insane. Get the trade and we win this. We control our base trade, says King Boo. Russell says true. Boo has backed and Vinch trade. But I think he might have been actually speaking to our base here. Yeah. I think Russell is going to go... I honestly have no clue. I think he's going to go for Boo. But if he goes for Boo, I mean... Oh my god. Here's the military stats, guys. If you want to see all the kills, excuse me, there it is. Russell's still chatting. Backed his enemy to me. Russell says me too, and Vinch. Here he comes. Where are you going, Russell? Where are you going? He doesn't know. Oh my god, this is like the most obvious sniping attempt ever for us casting, but I guess everyone else is very focused, of course. Back says, I'm trying, but too lag. It's lagging for him. He's trying his best. Also, he's got 77 trade. Backed is like 25,000 gold, so that's also part of why he doesn't have as much. He's got a lot of trade cards. And, okay, so Russell and Arbase have decided to fight against yellow and blue. They're fighting against Vinchester and Backed right now. And this is not the way I expected this to go an hour ago. I thought it was going to be the other way around. I thought that Russell and our base would work with King Boo, who is working with Winchester and Backed. This changes everything. Wait, Russell turns on red. What the crap? And now he's also turned on gray. This doesn't make any sense, bro. Meanwhile, so orange is turned on Backed, but green is turned on red, and he is turned on gray. I mean, I'm so confused right now. And Gray's like pissed off. He's all, no wonder people are confused, because it doesn't make sense to anyone when this happens. There's like 4 teams, but only 2 teams realize what's happening. I'm so confused. I am so confused. The thing is, that also like hurts both teams equally. It doesn't like make any one team stronger than the other. I think Russell accomplished a little more with his attacks, and they're also a lot closer to finishing off teal than finishing off red than, I don't know. Gray is, I would be pissed if I'm Gray. He allies himself to Russell again and says, what was that? And Russell says, misclick. And Klavskis is like, yo, help us. And then this is where our base is going to be like, I kind of just did. Because our base did help. It's just that Russell didn't help. They probably can't focus on what actually happened there. Now, guys, I'm telling you, Russell, it's all fun and games right now. But, like, you're not going to have anyone fighting on your side as this goes on now, because you attacked gray and red, and then you also attacked yellow and blue at one point. So you literally have everyone, like, you're going to be the first to die when the dust settles here. He's obviously feeling the pressure. He says, I'm so bad at this game. Our base says, being far away from the fight doesn't help. To be honest with you, Russell, you know, I can look past the upgrades and everything. It's honestly just the fact that he doesn't have a flow to who he's attacking. He doesn't have a flow to who he's attacking. He just, I think, wants to kill. He's like a dog when he sees a squirrel. He's like, squirrel! And just runs after squirrel without thinking, maybe that's the wrong colored squirrel. I don't know. Well, Winchester's ready to go. Like, Winchester has, I mean, it's been a crazy battle. 1,800 kills for him here. He's ready to go. He knows they're close. And I think he researched treason to know the king is also back here. And that is the king. And so, Russell moving his king around. But King Boo is saying we nearly have this. And Gray is saying the markets are dying. Like, yeah, this is getting closer and closer to the end. For Kamigawa, for Arg. And then also for Klavskis. And you can't say they really haven't put up a fight. We've seen lots of strategies. We've seen the inactivity strategy, a la Strode. Full trade, lots of bombard towers, no engagements. We saw that here in Regicide Rumble. We've seen the brute force kill everyone. The no ally. We've seen every strategy in the book. What I didn't expect to see in this game was the I don't know what I'm doing. Let's spin a wheel and attack whoever lands on strategy, which has been Russell's strat. And now he's just trying to get backed, which is like the opposite of what he did before. But I think there's one thing he knows, guys. There's one thing Russell knows. Is that he's happy to be in Regicide Rumble 4, and he's happy to be friends with Orange, I believe. I believe that's the one thing that he will stand true to, is being buddy-buddy with our base. And they've been having a lot of conversation. What a hold, though, from Kamigawa. What a hold from Klavskis. I still believe that a huge benefit to either team would be just telling orange and green what to do. They're obviously so busy, so it's so hard to ask of them. But just saying, hey, attack here with me, I think would work out well. Orange says, we're on both sides now, Russell. You can try. Back just wants to fight. So Orange is aware of the fact that they're kind of fighting on both teams. Russell, high confidence players, his emphasis on try. We have the KD here. Of course, Russell with 63 kills, our base 94. For the high-level players, they are going to be... There's going to be a part of them where they're just, like, frustrated. But now Russell's going to... Oh, my God. This is lit. Russell now allies Vincent backed. Let's see if Vincent backed will accept it. He says, Backed and Vinch. Like, wasn't he just talking about killing Backed and Vinch with our base? He says, allies so we can fight red and gray. Bro, orange is allied with red and gray. This has to be intentional at this point. And Vinch, I love it. He puts him on neutral. Klavskis also allies Russell at the same time. Okay, so we have Vinchester, who's fighting Klavskis, allying the same player who Klavskis just allied. Backed, Rams ready, can make more helps, says Vinch. Yeah, they need to go here. They don't see it. The CA are sitting behind the buildings. They're just a couple buildings down from winning this trade. If they take the trade, it is going to be over for Teal, 100%. Like, Teal's resources are really low. His military count's really low. Klavskis says, nah, we dead. And I think Klavskis is realizing that this is just so bad for their team. Now, what he could try is he could maybe try and talk to Russell and be like, hey, Russell, can I be your friend? Or maybe our base, I don't know. Like, you could try self-preservation, but it feels like it's going to be tough when there's this so many people. And Russell's against Gray now! Russell's against Gray! What in the world? Okay, so Russell has just allied... Back didn't accept, but he's just allied Vinchester. Our base says, I don't get it. Russell says, choo choo. And Back says, Cata kill all, because those cataphracts are killing everything. Our base says, we were going to kill Backed, question mark. Apparently not. Apparently not. Nope. No one understands. Russell just wants to create chaos, and that's exactly what he has done. He is going to have everyone out for his blood when this 3v3 ends, though. Like, no one is going to look at Russell and say, oh, yeah, let's keep that guy a part of this game. Nope. Oh, geez. Let's see. Russell has tried it before. Oh, my word. I mean, he has his own siege onagers, at least. Kamigawa says, let's try a bit more if you want. And Klavskis says, yes. Almost 2 hours into the game. Please don't kill your own stuff here. Oh, God. Oh, no. Russell. Russell's... Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. I could... Oh, jeez. Oh, please. Oh, Russell. He attacked grounded, guys. He's learning that. But he's still attacking that piece of ground. And here come the Celt siege onagers. Gray is going to use good damage control with the market. He's taking out the Rams. He's now going to fire on the Mangadai. And the Mangadai are all going to be Manga dead. And meanwhile, the King will still survive. And Russell is having some problems here, to say the least. And our base is Boo ready to push with Russell. And he says yes. This is hilarious. Oh, my word. But the push continues here. And they're still in it. I mean, the trade is still working. And I think Vinch is saying take Red's castles out and then he can't make cataphracts anymore. But holy. And like, after Russell fails with an attack, he's always so scared to go back to the same person because like I think he knows they're going to be angry at him. So I think that's part of it. I think he wants to switch sides due to that. Kamigawa's got more gold than he did the last time I checked, by the way. Okay. So we take one unit, says Klavskis, change Diplo, and then put unit on aggro and press on King. Yeah, so Klavskis is thinking what we're going to do is we're going to give each other the kills so we can get up to $25. And Russell with the quote says, at least I'm rich on resources. Yeah, and Kamigawa's like, sure, we'll enemy each other. Basically, they have respect for each other. They tried. And they're going to give it up soon. Yeah. So I do want to say this as well. We did have instances where players deleted kings in this event. It was nothing I really talked about in the rules. But when it's all said and done, I'm going to award the players who would have killed those kings the prize. I think that will put us over budget, but whatever. I think I'm going to do that because there were instances, particularly yesterday, where there was a couple deletes. And it's kind of out of the spirit of the game. I like how we're seeing these guys do this here. They're going to give each other the kill. This is, of course, allowed. And Russell says, no time like the present to get mining upgrades. He's having fun, dude. He's having fun. So there goes the king for red. It did just move. And we'll see. Yep, there goes the king. All right, so the king is now on the move, heading to that big group. Here's the king for Kamigawa. So we're going to see these two bow out respectfully. They don't want to die, but they know they're going to the hands of the enemy. They would rather die to a friend. And they're not even telling Gray, by the way. And now Kamigawa has declared war on Klavskis. But the army isn't here yet for Klavskis. Don't screw this up. I guess he's realized at least. Okay, this should be enough. And there you go. They're going to turn on each other, and we're going to see Kamigawa go down. That's going to see some cash go into Kamigawa's hands. Or this is Kamigawa's hands, the other was Klavska's. They're both out of the game. They didn't even tell Gray anything. Like, poor Gray didn't even get a heads up on that. Russell says, let's go team. Klavska says, I don't know what we can do there, really. Honestly, it just all comes down to getting Arbase and Russell to work with you. And it's been very little conversation towards Russell. And if there was, I think he already had a different task. And Arbase says, okay, now we need to get the pros. Which, honestly, could be so many of these players. But in particular, Backed and Vinchester. And King Boo, I think this was all kind of part of his plan. He says, hey, Vinch. And Vinch says, Bacty, I won't touch you, by the way. So this is really good because this is where you get uneasy with your allies. GG's in chat, please, for Klavskis and Kamigawa. They did play really well up against it. They did their best. And where is the army going to go? I think they're going to head towards Gray. Gray tried to make a push versus Russell here. And naturally, they say, okay, player 7 next. So they're going to go after Gray, which makes perfect sense. Now, if I'm orange and green, I want nothing to do with Gray when it comes to allying. You will not ally him. He's a man without friends right now. You do not want to be with him. This bodes well for Russell, bodes well for orange, because at one point they attacked him. I would actually attack him right now. Okay, King Boo says, Snipe backed now. He is the threat. I go from here versus Gray. I said at the start, I thought that King Boo was going to try and use his early alliance and conversation with these two. And Russell says, I will. This is huge, guys. This is huge. Because if Vinch and Backed realize this, and Backed survives, Vinch and Backed could be versus the world. Especially if Gray gets killed off here. Like, it'll be 2 versus 3, and I think that Backed and Vinch could actually win that. However, their trade is running this way. Okay, so they're looking for Gray. Here come Orange Paladins. So finally, we have Orange and Green coordinated. And this is what Boo wanted. Boo wanted this as part of his plan. However, that is a lot of Bombard Towers. There's no way Paladins do that. Backed is very well protected. And I think Backed is going to notice this. Okay. I could help you, lots of res, then I can just kill you. Oh, they can just kill you, says Gray. So I don't know who he's talking to. But good job from Gray to try and stay alive. King Boo says, I'll not hit you while Green and Orange snipe Backed. Then we team versus Vinch. Wait, so Boo is talking to Gray? What? Okay, 2 hours into the game, Russell realizes, oh, I've missed some crucial upgrades. He says, I can hear T90 screaming. Yep, screamed that an hour ago, buddy. I'm glad you noticed it, though. Good learning. It makes Siege there to snipe King there, says Vinchester. I love how Vinchester and Backed are working together. I talked about this earlier. I think the big dogs need to work together because they're always going to have targets on their back. We didn't see that in the MBL Cap Watch game, for example. I'm curious on what we'll see in the future games today where we'll have Jordan ACCM. And then later we'll have Doubt Tato. I mean, there's even bigger names too. Or sorry, not bigger, but names that are in there as well, like Madri, Ganji. Plenty more to talk about. And King Boo says King Boo is playing all sides right now. He's the master diplomat. He is playing both sides. And at the moment, it does feel like it is working because everyone's got so much stress and so many things to look for. A green enemy Vinch, he's sniping trade. He is sniping trade. And so, okay, Russell turns. Good awareness there from our base. If it's any consolation for Russell, I know his micro hasn't looked great, but he did miss crucial upgrades. He's got them now. I think he's almost on full ups, and Russell's like, thanks for the heads up. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay, okay. This might be a little preemptive here for King Boo. This might be a little preemptive. Green, I'm willing to ally again, and we kill the pros. What do you say? Russell says yes. Of course he says yes. He would say yes to anyone, I believe. He's that good-hearted. He will say yes to anyone. Finch. Can you and Backed clear bombard towers? This is what King Boo is asking the two pros. They are kind of doing that already. That is a lot of keeps. Oh my goodness. And his king is in the one in the corner. There's a lot of keeps there for King Boo, taking this seriously. Our base is confused. Everyone is. Is Vinch in our alliance? Because he killed my trade. No, because the problem for green and orange is they kind of broke the team up multiple times here. Vinch doesn't know who to trust over there. Vinch wants these two guys to die. He wants to take out gray. He then wants to take out green, and he wants to take out orange. But this does actually give opportunities for King Boo if he wants to get his hands dirty himself to do the sniping. Like, honestly. Actually, he's got villagers here. He could wall that in. Did he have villagers here before? Guys, that's epic. If he can wall in that tower, the king can't escape. I'm telling you, this is the moment for Boo to take out Backed. Because all the other players are going to be in jeopardy. Green does ally gray. Does need to get to the south. Ooh, man. Okay. Well, that's a lot of keeps, we know. That protects the king there. You're looking at Vinch's king. He's got 3 keeps as opposed to the one he had earlier. They've got good trade. The push continues from Backed and Vinch working together. And Gray says he's going to die to Backed. Told Backed I would get you if he allies me. I am lying. He said no. Backed, why enemy? I can get Boo if you ally me. Backed said no. I like it. And so Russell doesn't want to be with Backed now. Or sorry. I mean, really, if I was Backed, I would never trust Russell again. Same with Vinchester. I feel like there's certain things you can't come back from. And certainly the multiple attempts on their lives. Not something you can come back from. Gray will die to this, though. Gray will absolutely die to this. Then we see a signal from Backed. And, you know, the defense is just going to be insane. But if I'm Backed, I might look at King Boo and say, why are your towers not shooting this guy right now? Like, I think Backed and Vinchester really need to be calling King Boo out. They've done a lot of good diploing this game, but maybe that's what they haven't realized yet. Guys, we have a King Boo keep hidden behind the Tower of Backed. If he garrisons that, does he have anything in it? Nothing in it. If he oh, there's a hole! There's a hole! If he garrisons that tower, he could actually steal the king snipe. Back's king is in there. Of course, the tower's also blocking it off, so the paladins can't really attack it. Who's going to get the kill here? And will King Boo want to steal the money here? Which he could so easily do. There's been 2 kings down. It's been a long game. That king is going to eject. This is why I don't like the tower method. And the king is in there, guys. The king is on the move! That boy can move, man. He must be all lubed up. He's squeezed right through the paladins. And that means that Backed will survive, and our base can't believe it. He says, WTF, stupid knight. Wow. And this does not change things for King Boo at the moment. We've got Petards, we've got Hoofnitze, we've got Mamelukes. Gray is slowly dying. That king, though, is still in the same castle it was before. Just passing to blue King Boo, says Russell. And here he comes. I think Backed might die to this, though. Like, this is a crazy game to play. If he re-walls it, I think it's better. But it's still a crazy game to play. He's got so much pop over here. And Boo is allied with everyone. There's not a single player here Boo is not allied with, right? Boo, enemy Vinch, says Russell. Russell, of all people, calling him out. Like, hey, what are you doing? And we've got... Oh, wait! Wait, what? Did he just kill Boost? Oh, Back's trade, excuse me. Okay. Alright, he's killing Back's trade. Vinch is back to market. In case player 3 raids. This might make Back look here. So it's a timely thing to mention. You got Paladins now coming in against Backed. It totally makes sense, by the way, for Green and Orange to turn on Backed and Vinchester, because they're going to hunt them down. They are also the top 2 players in this game. King for Backed is in one of these towers. Player 6, kill him, says Backed. I do not believe that will actually happen here. I believe King Boo is lying through his teeth. I believe that he wants to see Backed die. He wants Russell to be successful with this. He says, I'm coming, and then he says, be quick to Russell and to R-Base. He's playing these guys for fools, but if you're R-Base and you're Russell, you might like that top 3. It gets you closer to an opportunity, especially even if you failed with snipes before. If you end up winning this game, after taking out Backed, after taking out Vinchester, and then an opportunity to take King Boo or whoever, this could be a problem. I bet you Backed cannot believe the lies right now. Backed needs to show up more on Fridays for our community games. Backed's king has now fled the scene. He's now in the castle with Vinchester. Of course, they're still trying to take out Gray. But Gray, I think, while this was happening, was able to take good engagements. This is not going to be successful. And I honestly believe that Backed is going to say to Vinch, we can't trust King Boo. Like, I think that's what he should say right now. Because Purple, look, he's got this army here. Actually, you know what? King Boo is doing a really good job of playing dumb right now. Because he is sending his army, but he just conveniently arrives after Backed and Vinchester have already cleaned it up. Yo, that's sick, actually. That is actually sick. That is really good, because Backed might look at this and be like, oh my god, he's just dumb. Wow. But I mean, if Backed looks, he's allied with Purple, right? He should be able to see that Green and Orange are trading this way. Vinch says, Backed, only to you now. Need resources. He says, no, I'm okay. What a game! What a game! What a game! This is great. And Backed is fine. He's only got 46,000 gold in the bank. So this game's going to go on for a long time, guys. This game is going to go on for a long time. Backed, though, doesn't fully trust Vinch. He's going to leave, as he should, to a castle. And our base is now research treason. So here's the thing. I don't think that Russell and our base are in a position to call out King Boo for playing both sides. I don't think they're in a position to do that, because their trade will all die here then. And they are the weaker players. However, Backed and Vinchester could say, hey, player 6 isn't helping us, and he's also not helping them. And look at King Boo. He's saying we 4v2 versus the pros. So he's trying to rally the whole crew against the other two while still talking to the pros about how he's on their side. And I think, like, it's taking Backed a while. He says, we need Pink to kill. Pink is not going to do that. That is fairly clear here. So will he realizes it? I'm really curious on how long this goes for King Boo, because, man, is he playing with fire. He says, where do you want me, Backed? And Backed says, Mongol. My army is slow. Sorry. Yeah. Army is slow. And Vinch, they still don't realize Vinch is easy 25 for you. Just kill Mongol. And now I think Russell might have seen the chat. He says, yeah, what about Mongol? Oh, this is too much drama. This is too much drama. Props to Gray. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of gold, but he's still making a little bit of a push against Vinch. It's not like Vinch is just sitting back. Amazing, man. Amazing. It's a little awkward for Saracens here unless they have bomber cannons. We're not seeing that. And let's see that slow movement of army. King Boo, as he's moving his army slowly this way, is probably going to say, he's going to tell the others to do something. He's trying to figure out what to do now. Gray with a good push, but Gray is going to run out of what he has here. He's just going to be sending in halbs, which eventually won't be enough. That is a lot of army from Orange, though. And I think Russell heard back say that, so I think he's really scared right now. And he might even see King Boo's army. I have to say, it is possible that Russell will see this army and get threatened by it. And we might actually see a fight between King Boo and between Russell. I mean, guys, look at the total amount of kills here in this game. King Boo did fight a lot. I know he hasn't fought recently, but he did fight a lot in this game. But he's being tactical about this. And I'd like to say props to Vinch. They did end up getting markets down here. So Vinch will actually be fine with trade. Russell says 10th time is the charm. What is happening? Oh, he's walling up here, the trade. Let's finish gray, says Vinch. Or green first, just together. So Vinch is like, whatever we do back, we're in this together. This is an amazing game. We've had the confusion. We've had the lies. Back says yes. That doesn't really give Vinch an answer as to who he goes for. I think it's going to be gray because gray is here. And King Boo is even giving input. He's like, gray is better. Of course gray is better. Because you want orange and you want green. You're supposed to be killing green right now, if you remember, King Boo. But is he doing that? Nope. He's got no interest in that. Snipe now. They're going for arc. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. King Boo's getting all the intel. He's getting all the intel. He's passing it along. He's like, hey, this is our shot. They're going to focus on gray right now. Meanwhile, gray is trying to tell Boo and the others, like, hey, guys, you're both here. Fight with me. Gray, they don't care about you, bro. They don't care about you at all. I mean, they do care that you're there and you're a good, beefy Celt distraction, but that's about it. It's a great Diplo game. What I love about these Diplo games is that some people watching right now are going to be like, oh my god, I absolutely love what King Boo is doing. This is so brilliant. Other people are going to be like, what a snake. So type a 1 if you love it, type a 2 if you hate it. It really brings the morality of the game into question. But I think if the ultimate goal is victory, it makes perfect sense for him to play it as he's playing it until he gets called out. And they have not called him out yet. They have not called him out. King Boo says, let's push neatly with you. I have no clue who he's talking to. Also, he's the first person to ever say the word neat in Regicide Diplomacy. So, well done, King Boo. Here comes Russell. He says, 10th time is the charm. Also, I want to say shout out to Ensberg. Thank you, Zephyrion. Thank you, Sean. Thank you guys for the subs, resubs. Appreciate the support. And Bact says WTF. And Bact will see this. And he says pink question mark. And King Boo says hi. And I'm telling you, it's getting ever so close to where, like, if this doesn't work against Bact, Bact is going to know. He says attack player 3. And King Boo's like, my army can only be at one place. And there he goes, off to player 3. And they still don't know. Vinch and Bact just don't know the way of Diplo. It's killing me. King Boo. This is so dirty, bro. It is so dirty. He says, everyone's telling me something different. And Grace's poor Boo is just confused, which is just adding to it. Oh my god. I'm ready for gray now. You say green. What do I do? Yeah, just buy more time. Just keep buying that time, King Boo. That's all he's doing is buying time. I think if this was a regular community game on Fridays, I don't even care about the player levels, Bact and Vinchester would have snapped and called Boo out for his nonsense already. But of the players who play on Fridays frequently, we have King Boo, we have our base, and we have Russell. And we have seen that matter here. Okay. Our base says we need to kill the pros. King Boo says, I know, I act dumb. Now, the king, if you're wondering, is over here for back. So his king is protected in this castle. And he's sending everything over now. And here comes King Boo. Honestly, an opportunity for him to go after Backed. Russell finds it hilarious that Backed needs help against him. Against a 1,000 elo player. But I mean, obviously he does. And I think Gray has shown his 2K prowess. Gray is really doing a good job. Continuing to pressure here. Where's that king at now for Backed? Backed is in the castle. God, man, they have to fight so much to get this victory. It's insane. But that's a lot of stuff right there. Russell is not allied with Vinch either. It could clear out the trade. This could have long-lasting effects. King Boo's like, look, I'm helping. I'm helping. You know what would be really good, actually? Is if Vinch and Backed were to say to Gray, King Boo's playing dumb. Why don't you team with us? And then go 3v3 against Boo, Arbase, and Russell. I think that would be their best play, but I still think they're the playing dumb is actually working. My army's so slow. Oh my god, I'm so confused. You're telling me to go all these different places. Oh my god, I don't know what to do. It's like every time he's needed, he shows up just a little bit late. Also, I think King Boo must be cursing Russell out right now. He's like, God damn it, Russell. Just get some kills, you know. Come on, kill someone for once. But Russell's trying more than Boo is. And Russell's through right now. He just cut through, and now there goes Vinch. Vinch is on the move. And Gray says I'll hit their trade. Yeah, I think this is the beginning of the end right now for Vinchester and for Backed. Backed is just asked for wood. Yes, he's got gold. Yes, there's resources, but there's just too many moving parts right now. There's too much moving against them. They're not pushing anymore. It's going to be react, react, react. Look at this. King Boo sent some wood to Backed to make Backed continue to think that he's with him when... Nah, he's not. He's not. Oh, he just took out Backed's castle. He helped. That was an attack ground, but maybe Backed didn't notice that. Backed seems completely oblivious to what's really going on. They're so focused because they've got so much stuff happening. And how do you get rid of pro players? You just play dumb. That's the way to do it. You just play dumb. Also, the king is not in here. I'll double check. No, the king is in here now for Vinch. You look at the military counts. There's a lot less military out there for Backed and Vinchester. And they're essentially fighting on their own. And I've never seen Backed rage before. I've never seen him go full on tilt. But we might be getting close to that. Look, Backed says attack pink. And this is not... I'd like to point out, King Boo is not enemy to the people he's just attacked. He went for attack grounds, guys. He went for attack grounds. He says, units bugging out. Bro, can't patrol. Oh my god. Yeah, so you can attack ground allies. So he's acting like he's defending Backed. He didn't actually do it. I know that this is probably so annoying for some people, but God, he must be having so much fun right now. He's like, how have they not called me out for this yet? Can you kill player 3? I can try. I can try, he says. This is also a situation where Backed needs him. Like, Backed needs King Boo. So he doesn't want to turn on King Boo because then it is actually a 4v2. So maybe he's like, he doesn't want to accept the truth. Vinch says, Backed, can you fight Celt? I will help more left side and middle. Okay, this is important because maybe Vinchester will be a little more observant to Purple's actions here. Boo, you're the best actor, says Gray. Yeah, I like how Gray is like a big Boo fan now, even though Boo was the enemy for so long. This is so funny. Thanks for being a good ally, Boo, as T90 would say. Dude, Russell, I guess it's fair to say that Boo's a good ally to you, but I don't think if you look into the thesaurus right now, you're going to see King Boo, otherwise known as great ally. No, I'm pretty sure Backed would have something to say about that. We'll have to look after the game concludes. Here's the resources again. Here's his stockpile. So Boo's got, surprisingly, doesn't actually have a lot of gold with 57 trade. But I think it's because he's buying stone right now. I don't know what the price is because there's no way for me to check within Capture Age. But guys, Boo has 136 keeps and counting. So, like, yeah, he's just using all of his gold to buy stone, which is actually a really good strategy. Because if you buy... So what inflates your score is having resources. So if you don't have gold banked because you're buying stone all the time, that actually is a really big help. And that's something I never really talked about much in these Diplo games until Strode the other day did a similar thing with Turks. This is a dream scenario right now. Dream scenario for King Boo. Also, he's got siege workshops right next to Orange's castles. Like, they've been there forever, so he could always make a move. But Bact is not going to go down without a fight. And Vinchester's not going to go down without a fight. And their resources are actually still really good. So this game, what time is it? Oh god, we're supposed to start the next one in a half hour. You can forget about that. Okay. Need to kill Hufnitze, says Gray. Okay. And Bact realizes... Bact finally calls him out. He says, Pink, make enemy to player 3. Top trading there. So he's like, hey, you need to enemy him because he's trading up there. Also, there's Mamelukes from Vinchester. Vinchester could have also called him out. And Boo says, I stay ally and snipe him. So Boo, just another lie. Just another lie so he doesn't have to turn on those two. Come in and delete stuff, says Russell. They're trying to think about how to fake this. And Gray's like, guys, I'm being pushed right now. Like, this is an issue. What a game. What a game. Vinchester says, I'm 200 forever. Can't help you versus green. Be careful. Oh, that's adorable. Okay. I mean, Bacta's doing it. I mean, look, they've corrected their trade. I think Boo is going to be surprised just how much eco Bacta actually has. And the trade is going down for Russell. And now Russell, technically, orange and green should say, hey, why is our trade dying, Boo? But I think they're just happy to be along for the ride. Russell says, I attack ground you. Oh! I don't think Boo approved that. But okay. And now Bact says yes, and I think Bact is responding to Vinch from earlier. Yeah, Boo still doesn't want to lose his SOs right now. This is a fake attack ground fight. It's fake. They're allied right now. Like, maybe he does actually snipe orange, though. I don't know. You haven't heard Arbase talk in a while. I think he's stressed. He's making a lot of stuff. 11, this is fun. Russell says, that's not fair. You have more range. And Orange is like, what? Player 6, do you have more than 100k gold, says Vinchester. So he's asking Boo about the resources. And King Boo says only 6k, which he could have been honest and said 8k. But, yeah, he lies. I'm completely surprised by that. I think Vinchester legitimately misclicked somewhere. Gray is, whoa, what the crap is this? Kind of a problem for Gray, I think. Gray doesn't have a lot of gold, but he does say the Hufnitze are dead, so he must have dealt with those. And Russell says, okay, Boo, you can stop now. How about you force him to stop? How about you kill him, Russell? Has that ever crossed your mind? Is T90 drunk? He sounds like it. What do you mean I sound drunk? He doesn't notice me, but they are all fakes, says King Boo. Vinchester says he deleted. Wait a second. He said deleted in caps. Did he notice something? Did he notice that this isn't legitimate? That's all I'm waiting for. Arbase says, where's all the trade? Your trade died to these Mamelukes a long time ago. That's something that's just dawned on him. And he says, dude, I want Arbase to call out Boo right now. What's that saying that in the Dark Knight is like you're something long enough until you're the villain or something? What's that saying? Because that's what's happening to Boo right now. Boo, you have to enemy Vinch. He is killing our trade. And our base is like, I lost everything 5 times now. And now Boo said, I really hope Boo doesn't actually turn. And I hope that Boo plays the same exact games with Russell and our base, just for our entertainment, honestly. It would maybe make sense for him to turn, but he says, okay, I turn, let's 4v2. Yeah, we've heard this before. We've heard this before. You either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. Yeah, I mean, many people had said he's been a villain already, but he's becoming more and more of the villain as people are not really convenienced by his tricks. Is he making stuff here? Feels like this would be the time if he was going to turn on orange as well. Maybe he will legitimately turn. And maybe he will legitimately turn. Here comes Gray with Halbs. Looking at Gray's economy. Gray only has 45 vills. 30 of which are idle. His eco is going to suck here. Also, Gray's, I think, will die because he's not rebooming. They've run out of wood, actually. On step, they're running out of freaking wood, people. I didn't even realize that till now. Is the whole map? No, there's wood down here. Anyways, Champion is a great inclusion here from Vinch. He will kill all these Halbs. Arg, focus the trade, then we go. And Gray says he's trying attack them now because he realizes how bad this is going to be. Now I direct my attention to Boo. This is not Boo going out to attack. Boo is plotting something here. I fully believe he's plotting something. Our base is also out of gold. He is also out of gold. He is really struggling with his stockpile. You can see there. So if he's fighting with straight Halbs, he will die. So King Boo needed, what he really needed was for Bact or Vinch to get sniped by his allies. It didn't happen. He's now sending resources over to our base. And Russell says, I have no wood but 60k food. There's actually no wood for those players, except for King Boo, who's sitting on, he says, I have 20k wood, buying more now. He's got 97k. Bro. I've never seen someone lie to so many people. Our base is a little pissed. He's like, I don't have any since my trade died a bunch. And Vinch is like, hey, I'm 200 pop, but I'm trying. And they're doing well. They might not realize it now, but they're actually doing a really good job. And I honestly feel like Bact and Vinchester might be able to hold on long enough where they kill everyone here, which would be epic. It would be so epic. We've seen games where the pros have not been able to do that. The King boost is 14. Can I trust him? I think he's actually doing it. And our base says, well, yeah, our base is a little tilted by this. You let Vinch kill Green and me. Our base is the only person calling him out. The only person. But it might be too late. King Boo's like, he. Whoops. Sorry, bro, I didn't have the wood. Sitting there with 100k wood. Now, Bact could die to this. And if Bact dies, it was all worth it. Because if Bact's gone, it will then be kind of a 4v1 versus Vinch. And then Orange and Green are weakened, so they'll have less success backstabbing Boo later. He says, let's go Green with those. But I may lose there, says Vinchester. Okay, so they're going to go to Green themselves now. And our base has been thinking about this, and he says, I think Boo is with the 2 pros. So, is it possible that Russell... Don't tell me Russell and our base are going to turn on Boo right now. Dre says, I think he's with nobody. No way! They're all waking up to it! He's just letting us fight, says our base. Yes! 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 He's cracked the code! Look, he's letting Bact's Monk heal his Halbs even. Before he may or may not kill Bact. It's time to wake up, people. It's time to wake up and see through the lies. Also, thanks for the viewership. Thank you, Daniel, for 300 stars. T90, I have 2 hours. I have 2 more hours behind the wheel. Hope you work as a podcast as well. I've heard that I do, my friend. I've heard that I do. I'm staying back for now, running out of steam. Orange says, same. I had 40 trade twice. They're getting really antsy with King Boo. But again, if King Boo kills Bact right now, all worth it. Will Bact notice this? He's very focused here. So I'm not so sure he'll notice this. Oh, God. I mean, if he switches now, he's fine. If he switches now and runs, he's fine. And he says GB, as in get back or go back. I think he's talking to King Boo, and he signals it. And now what will King Boo say? Great awareness from Backed. And he's going to run now. Yep, he's going to run. He's definitely going to turn here as well. He knows. Now he needs to get out of here. He's trying to block the gate. Okay, you do need to run somewhere as well. Winchester says 14 in the other area. Backed could die. Backed could be dead. Backed is on the move. Backed is running. He needs to turn here. He needs to turn. These are attack rounds. He has not turned. Winchester has now turned on King Boo, though, so he's killing Boo's trade while this is happening. And you have to think that Boo is really focused on microing this. Can Backed get out of here? He is on the move. And he is going to make it out of here. And Backed also turns. So all the siege, all the halbs are going to go down. This whole game has just been flipped on its head. King Boo has not only been called out by Orange, but he's been turned on by Winchester, and he's been turned on by Backed. Well done to the pros here. Well done to the pros. Pink attacking me, says Backed. He's freaking out. I love the emotion. I love the emotion. And Russell says, good try, Boo. It's all right. If anyone's going to console you after a failed king snipe, it would be Russell. Russell understands, Boo. He's been there. But that is Boo's first attempt. But now, like, look at all these keeps. Gray, you true 11, says Backed. I'm trying to figure out what he means by that. Again, I think it'd be really smart for Gray to ally Vinch and to ally Blue right now. I think they should switch the teams. Now we push together, says King Boo. Which is a little insulting, but what are you going to do if you're orange and green? You gotta take it. Let's kill Pink, says Backed. And Winchester says, okay. So now he's got how many towers? 148 towers they have to push. Backed says we will get top 3. Worth reminding you guys, we have 2 more games today. Each game has a $250 prize for the first, $150 for second, $100 for third, and then $25 per king snipe. Finch says, I hope so. And Gray says, you two are attacking me whole game. I think Gray is talking to Backed, and I believe he is talking to Blue. And Backed says, we can deal now. Bro. F Pink. Yeah, he's pissed. And Gray was also saying, like, I'm not really a big fan of him. Yeah, man. Yeah, Backed. Let's go. I wasn't sure he'd have the tenacity today. This is amazing. I think this is the best game we've seen in Diplo in many, 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 many months. And it has to be the best of Regicide Rumble 4 so far. In terms of just, like, the chaos. You can win with Wonder Victory. That is also an option for Boo, but that would put a massive target on his back. Gray says, I don't know, man. Gray is sitting back and thinking about this. I think, unfortunately for Gray, he's definitely in a position where he's not doing much for his long term. He's not like he's trading or anything, so I think he needs to think about how he can come back into the game and not just exist. He says, even though I have nothing and purple is strong. Winchester's putting out an offer. He says, I will deal purple, trader. Anyone join us will be top 3. Yo, this is a deal right now. He's like, hey, purple is the trader. We only have 2 over here. Join us right now, and you will get $100. You will be in the top 3 with us. That's not a bad deal. I think Gray should take him up on that. Russell says poor T90. Russell, I'm loving this. Don't worry about me. How about you worry about, deciding on where you stand right now? Because you've got to make big decisions right now. Because your team could crumble to this. Russell, I think, is still that wild card who could go for a snipe at any point if he wants to. But he hasn't been the most active recently. And Arbase, I think, is trying to figure out his eco. You could see Russell's had similar problems with his stockpile. Just don't have a lot of gold. Gray says, Vinch, I can ally for now, but I have nothing to attack purple. That's okay. And Back says yes, and Vinch says it's okay. Yes. Because they have to encourage him here. They have to say, trade with us. Come to our corner. Our land is plentiful with wood. We heard you have wood problems. Here comes our base. And our base is going to try and get into that trade. And Winchester just masterful defense. He might actually end up losing these Mamelukes, but still trying to hold. And they are pushing these towers back. Now, guys, Boo has 80 trade workers, but only 1,400 gold. He really needs gold. And he needs siege onagers, and they continue to get sniped. This is an amazing game. Thank you for the stars, Michael. Thank you for the stars, Derek. He says, they are attack ground stars, honestly. Yes, thank you. Backed, converts the siege onager, fires with the siege onager. Double whammy. Is going to convert another siege onager here, I think. Or at least is thinking about it. I'm a little surprised at the moment. And it feels weird to say, but I'm honestly shocked that Backed and Winchester have been able to play so well in this game. Like, we have seen some incredible... I mean, the awareness could have come faster with King Boo, but some really good awareness and some really good Diplo play. And, like, this game has had perfect flow. Here comes Gray with his Vills, so we can have an eco now. This is so good. I'm loving this. And I think if this game continues, based on the banks here, King Boo will die. King Boo will die because he is not... Look at this! Backed as Allied Gray after 1,600 years of enmity. But yeah, I don't think Russell is helping, which is so ironic because King Boo was not helping Russell for so long. I don't think Russell's contributing to the fights. And I know that our base is struggling with resources. Now, he can be a big pain. He can raid. He can do all that, but I don't know. Gray allies blue. So now there is a triple alliance there. And Russell says, let's go, Boo. I need help. And Boo is... Okay, here comes that support. Now, once Mangadai and Hussar come in, it is a very different story for Backed. What they do need is they need Gray's military to fight with them. And Backed says, I think Pink has 100k gold. Wild. And Gray says yes. The problem is the towers, right? Like, it's just so hard to push that. And Vince says, doesn't matter. We will win. The confidence, baby. All right. Here we go. Get good trades about wood. Yeah, he's thinking wood. Because they're gonna... He knows that on Steppe, a map where they started with so much wood that they will genuinely run out of wood if this continues. That's it. Hussar and Mangadai, big problems for Backed. Backed does not have enough to deal with this. This is a lot right now. This is a lot. Russell's sending villagers forward to wall in the relics so he can take them for himself. Gray needs to help right now. Gray, if you're going to be a part of this team, you need to help. You need to help. They need you. But then again, maybe Gray won't help. Maybe Gray just wants to chop some wood. He doesn't have to do that. Well, Klavskas called it. He says this will be a 3v3. I just don't think Klavskas and Kamigawa expected to be the two on the outs here. Holy cow. Let's look at the military stats again here. And military stats not looking too high for Backed. He's only sitting at 27. I feel like he's probably got units in queue. He doesn't, actually. Now, here comes Orange. Guys, this has reached the point in the game where it is getting a little stuttery. So we're going to miss out on only, like, some of the kill stats. But trust me, it's worth it. I'm just going to do a quick restart of this program because I just want it to run a bit smoother. It's so much better today, but we hit 3 hours. I figured it's a good time just to do a quick little restart, just to make things run a little smoother for us. Wow, this is awesome. This is awesome stuff. Okay, we're back in the game. We should be good to go. Bear with me. And casting now. And no promises that'll even get better. I honestly, this game's insane. 6 players still alive. Oh, what have we done? Did it just get worse? Did it just get worse? I thought I was supposed to... Hold on a second. It says disable time controls. Restart game connection. Oh. Well, I don't want to do anything there. I thought I had that. That was the thing they had recommended. Anyways, we'll continue. Time controls is clearly working for me. They said maybe disable that today. Anywho, I'm excited. I'm excited to see if King Boo will continue this push. He is continuing this push now. He's got a lot of helps coming forward. Siege Onagers traps. He's pushing the buildings. Bact definitely needs help. And Gray is not offering any support whatsoever. Honestly, he's king booing it right now. He's really not being a good ally. He's not trading with them down here. He's just chopping wood. And so what I said moments ago, maybe I have to take back. Maybe it's not passable for Bact and for Vinchester to do this. And what's Russell doing? Well, good question. Bact is asking for food. Bact is asking for wood. That's what those taunts are. He wanted to bring his monk in with him to the fight, is what he wanted to do. If Gray would go after Orange right now, like he is definitely massing something, that would be a big shakeup. Because then King Boo would lose off his trade if this position is lost. I think that's a good move, actually, for Gray. But I'm not sure yet. He's clearly waiting. I love how all over the place Vinchester has been in this game, though. He has truly shown up everywhere. Of course, the kill settings, the kills do reset, which is disappointing, but hopefully it leads to better performance. Yeah, it's smoothed out a little bit. I'm just happy we have this awesome program to watch with. And, yeah, I mean, you kind of got 3 players fighting right now. You've got King Boo, you've got Bact, you've got Vinchester. So with all that said, in theory, Bact should be pushing this. It's just Korean Siege Onagers are tasty, man. What's the highest score you've seen in the game? Vinch is getting up there. I forget what the final score was on the longest game ever. The like 8, not the one with Andre and Rubenstock where they just sat there for 2 days, but the actual physical longest game ever where they played. King Boo says, "Are you ready?" Russell says, "I'm joining too." And Russell had to fix his laptop charger. Oh, gotta hate those problems, man. Your laptop's about to run out of battery during Regicide Rumble. And Vinch says, attack their trade and you are top 3 because we will win versus them. Yes, that's what they need. This is what we just talked about. I don't know if Gray has the guts to do it, though. The Hussars come in, and they're going for the Hoofnitze here. We'll see if Gray does it. They kind of need Gray to do that right now. The Siege Onagers still making their push. They will slowly go down to the tower. Here comes Russell. Russell says, okay, I'm coming. But Gray is making a move versus Orange. Now, Orange could be making a move versus him, too, because I see units here. I have no clue what's happening, honestly. This is crazy. Keep in mind, I think that's Gray's trade card. Yeah, he really needed to switch his trade up to go with Bact and to go with Vinchester. A ridiculously long marathon game. We're getting our money's worth. We're delaying the full schedule for the day. I told my mods that 2.5 hours for one game was maybe too much. Thank God I made it 2.5 hours in between games. We'll hopefully have that second game ready to go when this one concludes, if it concludes, because at this point, I don't see it ending anytime soon. Hard to say, hard to believe it, but there's just not a lot of wood left. That might be the deciding factor. For everyone but King Boo, who's got 60k wood in the bank. Now, this could just be patience from Gray. He has moved things closer to where Orange is right now. So, I mean, it could just be patience for him, but if you look at his military stats, he's got 123. He's not moving. And Boo says, we kill trade. Hoof. And he's like, he's saying, take out the Hoofnitze, and we're good here. I think Gray, like, I'm really surprised that Bact and Vinchester didn't get angrier with King Boo and now with Gray in this game. Because, like, come on, you've got to make a move. And it looks like Orange is seeing this now. And Orange is starting to wall it up. Maybe he saw this from Vinch. I'm not sure why exactly, but Bact having some problems. You look at Bact's stockpile right now. He doesn't have a lot of wood. He only has 9,000 gold. But he did just build a new castle here to hold this position. Russell is charging his laptop, so it's a different situation now. Still looking at the trade. It seems to be flowing for Russ. A little bit for Orange as well. Will Gray actually make a move? I think the answer is no. Orange is coming down here. Does he think there's wood down here and he's made a lumber camp? Oh! Oh my god, he's trying to get a TC up over there. That's actually amazing. R-Base with the sneak TC on the wood line. Let's go. I don't think it'll last too long because there's Mamelukes down there, but okay. Big push continues. This is a big old death ball. They don't have enough to stop this. Bact will need to take out the trebuchets to keep his castle up and repair as much as possible here. He's doing his best at that. He's doing his best, but all players aware of the situation here. Bact will repair. There's only one treb remaining. If someone could snipe that treb, this would be good. But his Hufnitzes could likely go down here to Russell. Finally, a lot of coordination here between Russell and King Boo. Not so much from our base, actually. And the fight's not the best there for us. As Vinchester's here to save the day with Mamelukes and Camels. A very good go-to. And look at Bact sniping the Siege Onagers. Oh my god, dude. He needs to buy stone, though. He's not done that. He's going to lose his castle otherwise. He's repairing. He's repairing. He's repairing. It's going to stay up for another volley. He needs to hit that. Oh my god, Gray. Gray, you're killing me, Smalls. He wants to wait it out for top 3, not help for top 3. And our base is now garrisoned the freaking... Is garrisoned the freaking TC here to raid the enemy woodline that Gray's been chopping up. And he's going to chop more down here now. And the castle does stand. Yo, Russell got chemistry? Yeah, he caught up on upgrades. I think Vinchester needs to call out Gray here. Like, Gray's taking their wood now. He's not helping. And Gray's a 2K player, by the way. It's not like he's 1100. Gray's a 2K player. And Gray's resources have now gone back up. Gray's giving himself a chance to possibly win this. Okay, split micro from Russell. Woo! Good moves. Blackout says everyone is a snake in this game besides Bact and Vinch. Yeah, the problem is they don't have the ability to notice when snakes are out there. Because they don't play these games. I wouldn't say Orange is necessarily a snake. But I think what Gray is doing right now is super snaky. What King Boo has done was snaky, but at least he's put his money where his mouth is. I think Gray is especially bad because Bact and Vinch offered him a deal, which he took, and then they would have killed him otherwise, I believe. They chose to go against Purple because they offered Gray that deal. Gray might not have survived, honestly, against a Vinchester. And now, Vinchester, he declares war on Gray. So he turns on Gray, and he's not having it. And Gray's going to be like, what? What are you doing, man? And he says, why? Why are you doing that to me? I don't know. You know, just think about it a little bit, and then maybe you'll get your answer. Oh, you didn't see messages, says Vinch. Well, if you attack trade, that explains it. If maybe Gray didn't see the messages, you will be top 3 for sure. There is no chance. Okay, let's see what Gray does that. What is Gray going to do? If you trait us, he's going to say you die. Gray says, I didn't do anything. Yeah, that's the whole point of the matter. That's literally the point. He's like, you took wood from us, yes, and you did not take trade. So just push their corner and take $25 from player 8. And then we're top 3, yes. So to be fair to Gray, I don't think the messages actually went through to him, per what Vinchester just said. Our base, of course our base says this. He says, anyway, I think Gray wants to go for a snipe soon. And now Gray says, don't backstab, I'm going for Orange. Oh my god. Like, Gray's been sitting here long enough for Orange to pick up on it. And so now, Arbase says, who needs to go to the toilet? Arbase, you're definitely going to be crapping yourself here in a second, buddy. That's a bunch of Celt Siege. So if you've got a laptop, you might want to carry it over to that toilet. But at least he'll expect it. Love to see the Mongol Sepp Lancers, a really underrated unit. You don't see enough of it, honestly, at high-level Age of Empires. 124 HP. The way they engage against units, because they have one range, is amazing, but not against Mamelukes. And Vinch is like, I'm coming to help you now. I was chatting with Gray. Bact has been super focused, and I mean, they are just inches away from losing their trade right now. And Gray's actually making his move. I don't think Orange can stop this. I think Orange can see it, but I do not believe he has the ability to stop this right here. He does have gold, but he's Spanish. How do you stop Celt Siege and Halbs if you're Spanish? I don't think you do. You would need to have a bunch of bomber cannons behind the walls. He's gone for mainly Paladin in this game, which would die. He is running in with a bunch of Hussars, though. He's got like 100 Hussars here. 109. So he actually needs to lose this pop right now. So he can defend himself. And then meanwhile, our base says we should have killed Trade earlier. Does our base realize that it is coming to his base? So, okay, I'm going to give Gray a little bit more. I'm going to take back some of the things I said about Gray. Yes, he was inactive. Yes, he should have helped. Yes, he was selfish, but he didn't hear what Vinch said. This, though, will be annoying for Vinchester and back. That's a lot of Hussars in the trade. Vinch is going to clear that with these camels, though. But Vinch was also on the way to here. Vinch was also on the way to protect. So he might not be able to stop King Boo against Back's corner. And Back's population right now can't be good. Okay, Gray's trying to run through, which he cannot do. And he has now made the turn against our base. Apparently, they've only been allied for 239 years, which is kind of news to me. But our base's king, if you're wondering, is in this castle here. Okay, so he's going to ram down and onager down these walls. Hopefully, he doesn't onage his own units. Green says, I kill Trade. There's a lot of trade flowing for Vinch. There's a lot of Hussars in it. And here comes Vinch to say Backed. Back's military stats not looking good. He's got 10 military. He must be at the limit with resources. He's not really, which is surprising. I'm getting there. That's why there's no yellow troops as our base. Our base is microing the trade right now. He does not notice this. Okay, he did notice this now because he's just garrisoned his king and put it into another castle. Vinch says, I try snipe, okay. And this is not going to be enough. The Rams are going to take everything down. The siege onagers will probably die as well. But there's still going to be helps, and the castles and the trade, everything's going to fall apart here in this corner. I wish I knew how long the castle stood. I think our base is going to have to run here. Honestly, to have any chance. He's going to try and run now. And he hops into that tower. Now, Gray saw that. Gray saw it. And now the king is going to run again. Blocked by the Rams, and now he hops into a castle, but now the castle is going to fall, and the king is going back this way, and he goes into the tower, out of the tower, he's running around, he's trying to stay alive. It is against Keld infantry, it is faster. We have not seen a player die in 2.5 hours here, and I think our base will continue to live here, barely. Vinchester, I think, is saying, going, oh, and we have orange underneath this castle, we've got to pay attention to that. Holy moly, what a game. There goes the king. Running with the trade cart. Our base says help. Which I think will actually mean that Russell comes over to help. But guys, if the markets go down, the trade for Boo goes down. And Boo hasn't been able to finish off Backed. Boo has not been able to finish off Backed. Now, this does not come as a shock to me. Russell is going to be here to help. But there goes that king. So if Russell shows up to help, this will obviously be huge. It's a little bit of a shame, though, that Gray is going to lose these Rams. That's sad to see. I really would have liked to have seen him not lose those Rams. And just kept... If you're not going to kill the king, take out all the buildings, take out all the towers. It'll make it harder to do that again next time. But he does have more siege. He does have a lot of stuff going on. I don't know why Green has this here. And look at that. Gray hits Green with the attack grounds. He's not happy that Green is here. I don't know if Russell paid attention to that, but Russell might be typing about that now. And King Boost says, Arg, are you in on this or not? Are you in the number or not? Vinchester says, well... And Gray's like, I am. Now, the thing is, King Boo, he is experienced at the whole snake situation. So he'll be able to call Gray out pretty quickly. Orange stopped hitting Gray, which is kind of funny because our base is going to be pissed. He's like, dude, he tried to snipe me. Vinchester says, I push mid, which makes sense. They're trying to figure this out now. King Boost has come now because they're losing grounds. So they want support from Russell, but Russell went to support Orange. And King Boo's plan was masterful. But his plan was to backstab the pros who figured out his plan. And it was to ally the players who are now struggling to keep it together. Gray says, okay, sorry, Orange. Looked like an easy snipe, but well defended. And our base says, I guess we're even now. So now Gray and Orange are allied again. Which is another interesting development. But I know a lot of time has passed, but I do feel like progress has been made for Backed and for Vinchester, as I will again show you the stockpiles. Wood is the concern, I think. I honestly think Wood's the concern. You've got 43 trade units for Vinch, though, so he will have more trade in the long term. I would love to see... Like, I think Russell has definitely reached a point where he's like, I just want to kill stuff again. So I would actually love to see Vinchester say something to Russell about taking out Boo. Okay, Backty, never mind. Need your siege, says Vinch. Wow. I think what hurt Boo, a lot of people are going to say Boo could have taken advantage of this. What hurt Boo, besides being up against 2 pros with very little help, was his production buildings are all the way over here with slow units. If he built more forward production, he could have reinforced those fights a lot faster. But you can see how close the buildings are for Backed and for Vinch. What a game. What a crazy Diplo game. Okay, we can do it, guys. Except no Mangadai. Wood for Mangadai. Yes, for wood. King Boo's buying wood for all 466 gold for 100 wood. They're trying to outwood the others right now. Okay, Boo is spending a lot of wood for siege too, and for those halbs. Wood, wood, wood. Fight pros, kill that please with halb. And this is what Orange is saying to Gray. And Gray says yes. Is Gray gonna actually turn on Vinch right now? I actually don't know what's better for Gray. I know what's better for the length of the game. The best thing for the length of the game is for Gray to not do that. As our base is now buying wood. Yeah, look, Vinch is saying if you break it, would be nice as well. He might look at Gray's halbs not attacking and be like, what's happening here? That's an issue. We're out of wood, says our base. He's making hussars, so that only costs food, but guys, he's got 6 farms. Our base is soon dead. Russell says, not fair. How do they have wood? Oh, God. I mean... They kept macroing, that's for sure, and they recognized it a long time ago. Vinch said it over an hour ago. Okay, Backed says some ram here. Russell says Backed wants rams here, probably going to push. Because Backed hasn't been able to change his settings for chat all game. Which is still so funny to me. Okay, I'll take the wood, and when it runs out, I'll turn, says Gray. So Gray is going to take their wood and turn. Bro. I mean, listen, he never set up his trade with these guys, which should have been a clue to Vinch. If I'm really allied with someone, they're sharing the same trade route we're fighting for. If they still have markets on the other side, that's always a question mark for me. Russell says he doesn't have chat set right. Come on. Every army is 42. Thank you for the very observant numbering of your armies there, Russell. 42? 42. 42. Something about 42. So, 42 times 3. You've got the number right there. I actually trying to do this in my head. This is embarrassing. It's 126, I think. Oh, Gray, you haven't turned on Vinch yet. Gray says wood first. He kills Vils if I turn now, which is fair. And Russell says, charge! Here he comes. 42, 42, 42. I don't know why Backed this shit right now. Maybe he sees the 42 build order coming towards him. But something tells me that even though Step Lancers are really good, well, it comes down to the Mangadai, really. Good splits there from Russell. Because the Step Lancers will own here. But I think if the Mangadai are gone, the Step Lancers don't do too well. And Russell just wants the Hoofnitze, which he's going to get. And that's why Backed said shit. I think he saw this. Our base is like, hey, give us a heads up so we can fight 4v2. It still makes sense for green and for for Orange to want to fight with Boo here because they went top 3, right? But this is something. I don't know if Russell noticed this. He's too busy chatting. Vinchester, a couple moments ago, kind of decided, like, I'm going to take this into my own hands. I can't trust Gray to make a push. So I'm going to do it myself. And he's actually made progress here. He took out a castle from green. Also, Elite Mamelukes. So freaking cool to see this. And now Russell's running home. Russell's running home with everything. I think he noticed. Oh my god, that's a classic 1000 Evo thing. He noticed, so he just abandons his allies on the front to go save himself. It's all about self-preservation, baby. All about self-preservation. He says, ha ha, it's a villager, silly. Nice try. That's not a king, idiot. Yeah, I added the last part. But that was actually still really good for Vinch. Because it gave them a little bit of time to mass up here. And I think Vinchester might actually lead back now. And then send the Mamelukes in with more Rams. He's got Siege Workshops here, so. But again, let's look at stockpiles overall. Our base struggling. He's got gold workers, but he really is not going to have anything else. And King Boo continues to buy wood, realizing it'll be a wood game. Which is honestly really smart if he's got trade. But the second his trade goes down, it's a problem. And Yellow turns on Gray. He turns on him because Gray hasn't been doing anything. And because Gray was coming forward. And Gray said coming to help, but he's been spotted. And Vinch says, go away. Gray says, okay. Vinchester signals here and says, there, you can help. There, you can help. You're not going to help here. It's like... It's like a parent with a really spoiled, bratty child who never obeys. Go back to your room. You're grounded. It's like Vinchester still really wants to love Gray, you know? Still really believes that Gray can be a better person. But Gray just wants to be a bad boy. Yo, Vinchester's turned it up, guys. Everyone here's turned it up, but Vinchester and Backed, big shots there. Man, have they turned it up. Fully justifying everyone's focus on the pro players, by the way. Because, like, man, have they played good. It's not just their names, but how they've played this game has been incredible. Gray, though, does turn on Vinchester, so he is actually going to fight. And so Vinch has got to deal with that, but they deal with this as well. And again, King Boo, unable to do it without heavy amounts of support. Our base now buying food, which is a problem. Now, here's where it gets problematic. Against only Halbs, you do have to hit and run with the Mamelukes. You don't want to run right into your trade. So what you need is a champion buffer. And that's what he's doing now. Boo says, I'm low, be careful. He's not going to really send too much wood over to his allies. But now you've got champion buffers. There's still a lot of Halbs. But I'm looking at Gray's resources. Gray can only make Halbs from here and just a little bit of siege. So you've got to think, because it's Vinch, he will defend from this. But, God, that's a lot coming from Gray. And Gray's researched treason, too. So he might even be hunting for kings. We will... Oh. We're out of wood. Oh, my... The wood is gone. The wood is officially gone. 3 hours and 50 minutes. We have no wood. I don't think a single tree is being chopped right now. And look at the wood bank right now. Arg has a lot of it. And King Boo has a lot of it. Also, the trade amount is important. King Boo has 106 trade. Oh, King Boo is in a great spot. King Boo is in a great spot. Blue is now turning on Gray as well to come help. I actually am worried for the pros right now. I actually am worried for the pros. Backed and Vinch just thought, man, I'm going to kill these plebs and we're going to be top 3 and take the money and run. And Backed says, before you die, Vinch, send your king to me. Come on, that's not going to boost his morale. Come on, man, this is not the time. Vinch is like, we're still fine, man. And Boo says, or to me. He says, or to me, because Backed, again, didn't change his settings. And then Green says, no, send it to me. Our base is like, no, actually, send it to me. Russell says, I want a Liquipedia profile. I really want to be on the internet. Tell mom that I earned some money. That's funny. Backed says, feel bad, man. Yeah, I mean, it's not... I think this might actually be the end, and how quickly it turned. I didn't realize Gray had that much wood. And now Vinch realizes it. He says, well, we GG, Backty. And here, well, his king moved, excuse me. Oh, he's in the same castle as Backed. What a game. But what happens when they're gone? What happens when they're dead? Does everyone go on King Boo and does everyone fail because they can't take out that many towers? Oh, there's still trees. Excuse me. There's still a chance. Okay, they've got to chop through the trees. Our base says 4 hours to go. 4 hours in, excuse me, 96 to go. Till they hit 100 hours. I really hope that doesn't happen. No, thank you. But yes, this is slowly going down. Backed doesn't have much military at all. Backed his 60 military to be exact. Just a bunch of halbs. And Gray just killed his own unit, so that's cool. That's really cool. I can't believe Backed and Vinch are actually going to be out of the top 3 here. What an epic game from them. What an epic game. Can someone remind me who killed Red? Oh, no. Red and Teal killed each other. So Backed and Vinchester will have spent 4 hours to die like this and have received $0, man. They probably can't believe it. Vinchester's like, okay, I would like to GG. I will send King to your army. And Backed is going to do the same. Now, let's see if they do this properly. No! Backed! Backed is dead! Backed died and he's still allied. So Vinchester can't have someone kill him unless it's the enemy now. What the... Oh, God! Backed says, you got mine. It's good, too. He's like, it's okay, buddy. Backed, of course, is dead now. What was that, Vinchester? And he's trying to... Oh, my God. Did you see that? He saw the Hoofnitze firing at King Boo, and he tried to run into the shot to give Backed the kill, even though Backed is dead. Well, there's a new mission now for Vinchester. It's to somehow try and get Backed that $25. He almost ran into the attack ground there. That was amazing. Okay, Orange says, okay, Gray, turn around. Whoa. You gonna kiss or what? I mean, they need to plot on what they do. Vinch is still alive to them. They don't realize what happened. But they need to plot on how to deal with the enemy here. And the enemy, they need to find out who the enemy is. I think that enemy's King Boo. I don't know if they can kill him. Vinchester just researched treason, and Vinch is going to go for a king kill. I like this. Vinch is going to go for a king kill. He could end up with $50 if he gets it. And look at that. Immediate movement there from Russell when he hears the treason. I think that's a very smart move. You look at Russell's point of view. He can also see this now. And King Boo is wondering where Vinch's king is. I think Vinch is going to wait here because they want him to come. He wants them to come for him so he can give back to the kill. This is funny, man. This is funny. Hey, thank you, Sean, for the stars. He says, thanks for hosting this amazing event. You still need to rig me in a commie game one day. Well, one day. One day I will do the rigging. Thank you. Also, thank you very much to James for the 2 months. Guys, if you want to sub and support, 100% does go towards me on this platform. You hit the supporter badge on the overview tab. It all goes towards me. I'll give a shout-outs if I can. And Vinch. Oh, he's walled out. Oh, God. Can't make it through. Russell really wants a kill. He wants a Liquipedia profile. That seems to be the thing. Arg says, you wish. And I think he's talking to Vinch. And the king is here. So Russ is probably going to come in for this. It would be so funny to me, though, if Vinch could somehow pull this off. I just don't see how it's possible. I think Russ will get it. Here comes the army from Vinch. Yeah, Will, I actually gave you a shout-out before the stream. I don't know if you saw it. Thanks, man. How do you turn off team colors? Okay, he doesn't know how to turn off team colors, which must be really confusing in Diplo. And there's the king. Now, of course, this is where Vinchester's looking right now. Probably happy to at least do something to them, because he's probably annoyed with them. Okay, here it comes. Alright, so I don't see how this works exactly. Finch. I think he... Oh, the Step Lancers actually got it. Russell's gonna be happy about that one. Russell gets it. So Russell's pumped. Russell gets his kill. He's just gonna run away now. He won't get any more kills. Vinchester is now dead. It is a long game from Vinchester. He and Back deserve our salutes. We now have 4. So if one more person dies, it is then a guaranteed $100 to these players. Now, this is funny. All this stuff is running into Boo's trade right now. No snipe for you, Vinch. Silly pro, says, says Russell. Russell, you might want to quit with the bragging, bro. I'm not so sure about that. He's having fun, though. And our base is like, please clean up the trade, because his trade was lost a million times. Okay, and now let's see. Now let's see what happens. We are officially 15 minutes past schedule for Game 2. Thank you to the mods that are telling the players who are waiting. Arg, want to take 1-2. They want to snipe you. Boo, immediate with the lies. And Arg says, sure, let's do it. Perfect. I mean, it's so smart. And, like, I think Russell and Orange are not going to expect it for some reason. But, like, it seems like the immediate play. King Boo's doing this all the time, this game. So, let's see. I mean, I really feel like Orange is going to struggle here. He doesn't have a lot of res. And then Russell has no wood. So, I think this is going to work. You go green and I orange or what? And King Boo says we both go for 1 first. Now, guys, this worked out for Gray, didn't it? Because if he would have allied Vinchester and worked with Backed, he wouldn't be getting this type of a deal. So this actually worked out for him. And Russell says, Boo, can I have one last shipment of wood? And watch Boo say he doesn't have any. I would say, Boo's probably going to be like, I don't have any. Green, stronger army, but orange, stronger player. And they're trying to decide who they go after. That king for Russell is back here, by the way. And now Russell is talking to Gray. He says, not me. Don't go to me. Did he see Gray say that by chance? Russell says, I can't beat you guys. Well, that's kind of the point, Russell. That's kind of the point, buddy. Russell says, save me for last. Come on, Russell. Russell, dude, try, man. Try. Try, buddy. He's like, can you please send wood before you do whatever you're doing? Because I need manga dye. It doesn't really make sense for anyone to send you wood, though, if they're going to try and kill you. Okay. Says, Arg, we go orange first. He says, agree, then 5k wood is yours. So he's going to send wood to Gray. That's interesting. I mean, I don't know if it really makes sense for them to double someone. I don't think they need that. Russell, question mark. Orange, yet. Okay, so Russell's saying... So Russell is going to let Orange die for wood. It's come to this. He's not even going to tell Orange. Orange has nothing. Arbase says, let's go, guys. We can't just sit here. You know what? I think you're right, Arbase. I think that it's probably time for us to do something. It's been 4 hours. Yeah, you know what? We'll get a move on. If only he knew what was happening right now. Arbase buying food, which is fairly expensive. And here comes that slow army. And King Boo says, Russell, tell Orange to get ready to snipe Arg. Then we hit fast. If this is what we consider fast... That's a little worrying, but let's see if Russell actually does this. Orange, get ready to snipe Gray. Man, Russell. I told you guys that whoever would have just grabbed Russell earlier and said, hey, buddy, do this with me, that he'd be down, and that was King Boo. Orange says, I'm ready with all I have, and that's not much at all. Orange has had 0 king snipes this game, is 1 place away from getting the cash. Russell is about to do him dirty by not telling him right now. But he wants his top 3. He wants the 100. Here comes Boo. That's not where the king is, by the way. The king is here. It's in the other castle. Purple says, come. God, I would give an extra $100 to see Russell go down to Boo right now. Like, oh, he's not gonna do it though. He's just too obedient. He's like a little puppy. Actually, puppies aren't obedient. We'll say a dog then. He says, "Okay, I come with you." Gray is honestly, he's been waiting for a while here, and it makes sense because he doesn't really trust anyone. He's been on both sides of the fights this game. Orange attacked him, green attacked him, purple attacked him. Like, he's been attacked by all of his now allies. Someone needs to go for someone. I think purple is going to die here. There's no way around it. You see green sending paladins this way, or orange, sorry, for some reason. But the great turn is going to happen. I agree that it would make sense for Boo to turn against gray with orange and green if he wants first. However, Russell is kind of... He's saying he doesn't have wood all the time. Which if he doesn't have wood, he can't make Mangadai or Siege. King Boo says, our base, we good, yeah? We snipe gray first. What is happening? I don't know who's telling the truth. Our base says, I'm waiting for you guys. King Boo says, then we 2v1 green. See, this would actually make a little more sense. Now, Russell says, let's get gray. What? Wait. Guys, it's been... This has been such an eventful Diplo game. Stop making me use my brain so much. Seriously. All right? I can't help with gray. 600 helps. I'll try and snipe Siege, says Orange. He's doing a loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop with his paladins right now. No, Corey Fox, thank you very much for that sub. I see that. Thank you, thank you. God, please, Russell. Please. Can you imagine the storyline of Russell sniping Boo right now? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. It's going down. Okay, Orange has been turned on. Orange has been turned on. Gray has also turned on Orange. And Orange, unfortunately, was not expecting this. Whether he was too trusting, I don't know. But that castle will go down. There is just no king in there. But this is the end for Orange. So if you're Orange, you got to, like, wherever your paladins are, you have to try and take someone down with you or before you die. That's your goal here. He's going to run with his king. Could he get his king over to backed somehow? Wait, he allied backed. And he allied Vinch. No way. I said it. I didn't actually think it would happen. So he instinctively is going to try and give a kill to Backed or Vinchester, and Backed or Vinchester have been defeated for a while. So the king is now on the move. I'm not sure if Gray sees this, but it kind of seems to me like he does see it. He's going to delete his walls. There's a tower. Okay, Orange is on the move. Orange can outrun that. Gray gets the kill. And Boo tells Russell, or Russell tells Boo, they're going to get Gray next. Well played. Good thought there from our base, who is probably distracted with his paladins, would be my guess. He tried to do something with his palace. And now we're going to see Gray's final stand. And, I mean, it's $100 for third place. So whoever dies next, still $100 in the bank. But man, oh man, we know where that king is. Our base calls the GG. GG's in chat for our base. Our base, unfortunately, had an amazing game, but doesn't get a payout. I feel bad for Backed, though. Some players got so shafted in this game. And, okay, so Gray says, so you go for his base. Who's he talking to? I think he's talking to Boo right now, right? Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Do they trust each other? Do they trust each other? Do they trust each other? I don't think they should. They're allies right now. Oh, my God. You know Boo. Boo says yes. Gray says no. Russell says, sorry, our base, you were a good ally. I'm not sure he would say the same about you at this point, Russell. But it was a very long game. And he says, green now, yeah. Just as Russell says, now we kill Gray. That the lying in this game from King Boo. You can't argue that King Boo doesn't deserve at least top 3. I think based on his Diplo. Now, you can get annoyed at it. And you could say, why didn't these people realize it? But that's because these games are hectic. Playing Age of Empires 2 is already so difficult. So, yeah, sometimes you just can't focus on all these things. Russell says, what are we waiting for? I mean, Russ, I'm telling you, bro, I want you to make that move. I want you to make that move. Imagine the redemption if you make the move and get that king. I would love to see Russell go with purple against gray right now. And then after that, gray sees this. Gray's like, get away. Stop. Not worth it. King Boo turns on gray. Gray can defend from this, guys. That's a crazy thing. Gray can defend from this. Okay. Ark also turns on Russell. King is in there. King is now in the tower. Halbs come in. Halbs will, for the most part, die. But we could see some big shots here for King Boo. King Boo will not kill that king. King Boo will not kill that king. And Russell's coming in for it now. And he's... Oh, God. He's going to lose everything. Oh, God. Woo, jeez, man. Holy. Remember, Russell hasn't been able to make more Mangadite because he doesn't have wood. And Gray says, told ya. Told ya. Idiots. Who's got 100 trade, by the way? It's all right here. So if that gets killed off, I mean, that's done. That trade's finished, but he has 30k gold because that trade has been allowed to run for so long. It's so sad that Orange wasn't able to turn on Boo before he died, because if he did, Boo's trade would have gone down. Russell says, did I ever say I hate choke points? Because I do. What is stopping Russell from going after Boo right now? Anyone have a clue? Is it just... like, he's been used by Boo for so long that he just doesn't want to change his life? What's that called? Like, where you're... It's like if you're in captivity for so long, you don't want to switch sides back. I forget, excuse me. There's better ways to explain this. Stockholm Syndrome. Thank you. Thank you. I really think he's sitting here and he's just like... it doesn't even cross his mind that he could possibly make a turn. I mean, there's a lot of towers. There are a lot of towers there, which obviously means that it might not work, but... I guess the promise of top 2. The promise of top 2 is probably what's keeping him in this. It does probably give him a better chance if he's with the guy that has all that trade. Of the 144 eco for Boo, 98 of that is trade, FYI. Oh, guys, what a game, man. There's no wood. There hasn't been wood for so long. What a game. We need bomber cannons or Korean SO. Also, right now, as we have a pause... it would make sense someone might need a bathroom break. Casters don't get that, but players, I guess, can get that. Whoa, Capture Age bugging out? My game dropped. Oh, no. My game My game dropped. I have no game. I have no game anymore. I can't capture a game if there's no game. And I'm sure as hell not going to fast forward through it. I can tell you that right now. T90 official, check Discord. You're going to have to tell me where in Discord. Because I'm looking in so many different rooms, I'm not seeing anything. Wait. King Boo says, my game crashed. Russell says, I dropped. Do we restore? Arg says, I crashed. A bunch of them say, thanks, DE. And they are restoring it right now. They're restoring it. So that's actually a good thing to hear. That's a good thing to hear. Kind of, sort of. They're going to restore it. Also, Russell, get out of chat, bro. I got it. We got mods. Get out of chat. Close it. Don't want you hearing anything. Get out. Please. Thank you. So, they're restoring now. Now, this might not work, guys. That's the sad thing. It might not work. While we're at it, you can actually see the schedule for the day. Houseboat is delayed because of this monstrous, ridiculous game. Restore does, drops do happen, which is why you want a working restore feature. We'll see if this works. How far back is the restore? Are Backed and Vinch back? No. It should be from when the drop happened. Ay. This is ridiculous. Thank you guys for sticking around. Hope you're ready for this ending. Thank you, Chris, for the resub, by the way. Appreciate it, man. Woo! Well, there were no drops earlier, so there's no risk that they would use a wrong restore file. The main risk is, will the restore actually work? Now, occasionally what happens is when someone drops, you miss about 30 seconds. So it's possible that, like, we missed 30 seconds of the game and, like, someone's army ran into a castle or something. Russell is the only one not in the lobby. He says, oh, okay, sorry. Didn't see it. Have to open on PC, Discord on phone. Gotcha. So he's probably living the one monitor life, and he had to tab, find it. He'll be in now. If no restore, then what happens? I think if there's no restore, I think we bring Bact and Vinchester in here, and we talk to them about who deserves the placement prizes. Because I'm pretty sure they would, all three have very strong opinions on who they would want to win. And who they would want to lose. Like, don't Bact and Vinchester hate all three of these players for different reasons right now? Arbase, out of chat. Seriously. Oh, you're dead. You're dead. I'm sorry. No, you can stay in chat. Sorry. I forgot Arbase was dead. My bad. I was starting to get pissy here. People showing up to chat like this is a break. Score, I guess. I think we'll cross that road if we get to it. Let's put it that way. I think letting chat vote would be a mistake. No offense to you guys. All right. I actually have to open my game because my game crashed at the same time, so I don't know what happened there. But holy moly. What are we, over 4 hours now? Game time? I think we are. I think it's unlikely I can get an interview in with the players. Okay. Kind of looks like it's working. I'm seeing a bunch of weird things in the game. It has them loading up with AIs right now, which doesn't feel like it's right. But the AIs do have the proper color and proper civs of the players who dropped. This is what I see. I've never seen this on a restore before. But typically, we're not restoring games where players have already been out, right? It's like a restore in a 3v3 and all the players come back. Hey, thanks, DE. Yeah, baby. Okay, we're back in it. Obviously, we lost some of our data on this, but we're back in it. Let's go. Restore worked out for us. I think we lost a couple minutes because I thought it was 421, but that could have been due to spec delay or something. I don't know. Okay, so trade has been repositioned by King Boo, and he's sending them to these markets. And Russell could lose all of his markets. So I guess Orange's markets were taken out by Gray. Green talking only to you. Yeah, Gray, come on, baby. Say it. Say it like you mean it. You know it. King Boo's trade dying. Russell's like, I'll save you, Boo. I'll save you. Okay, and Arg says, don't you want to take 1 and 2? He has less army. Now, here's the deal. The deal that's already on the table for Russell has him taking second place. So you need to say something a little different than this. He says, I'll kill your trade and have some res banked. Russell immediately deletes his markets and is going to build a new one. Russell is he's just in love with Boo. And he's like, safe trade right here. Go ahead, Boo. Let's live our lives. I do not think Gray can ever convince Russell to stop. It is what it is. And if it is what it is, Gray, you have to try and snipe. And if you have to try and snipe with your Civ, I'm not so sure that's doable. What is doable, maybe. I don't know how much stone costs. Now, maybe it's not. I was going to say is a wonder. Honestly. But all players are lacking some resources there to get to the wonder. So, it's a stalemate right now. And green is not responding to gray, which is going to lead gray to just be feeling hopeless at the moment. Now, make some moves here if you're Russell, right? Like, move forward, get some engagements in. There you go. Now he's going to fight alongside his teammate. I think Russell's in a state of mind of, oh my god, I don't have wood. I need to keep everything alive, which is fair. But they're going to have to make some moves. T90 stone cost about 1,500 gold when I died. Okay, makes sense because King Boo was just buying it up. And it looks like he's killing all your trade now because it's blocking things. I think Gray, like, we're going to see one big engagement for Gray. He's slowly losing his buildings now. And then we're going to see a pretty swift end between Russell and between King Boo. I don't think King Boo is going to really have a tough time killing Russell. And Gray is now trying with Boo. He says, Boo, why not take 1 and 2? But Boo's just going to say, oh, I will take 1. We just have to kill you first. Like, that's already his plan, right? He's teamed up with the weaker of the two, who has been screaming, I don't have wood. He's keeping his trade running the entire time. And then, once Gray's out of the picture, which he might need a little bit of help for, he'll just kill Russell. Gray should promise green #1. This is the only way. Yeah, that's true, Roach. Like again, the deal that he tried to make did not change the situation for Russell whatsoever. So you need to offer him... That's true. Yeah, offer him first. And I think it would work on Russell. I honestly feel like it might work on Russell because you know he wants his Liquipedia profile to show more than just 25 bucks. Yeah, no one wants a promise of #2. That's true. But in order for Russell to do it, he needs siege rams. What does he have in here? Is he actually going to have the guts to do it? He's got 15, 20, 25 siege rams right there. With Steplet. Wait. He says, thanks, I'll kill snipe. Wait, who are you talking to? Don't get me all excited. This isn't fair. What's he sniping with? Is he gonna go... Russell, I will love you forever. Also, our base... Oh, did you see that? Our base had paladins holding the gate open. And Russell deleted it. Okay, Russell's coming home to defend. Russell, it might not have to work. I know you've had a lot of failed snipes here, but that would be the perfect ending to try and kill Blue. AKA Boo, sorry. I think Boo dies to that too. If Russ sends everything right now, he could do it. Now, it might be better to wait until... I mean, think about it. We're talking a lot about Russell because we maybe don't have faith in him like we do with the others when it comes to play because there's 900 elo difference. But if he waits until Boo helps against Gray and he fights against Gray for now, like, look, he's clearing all of this and now this is going to get cleared. Like, right around now or maybe soon after, you can then continue making a run for it and taking out Boo. Big, amazing shots there from King Boo. Yeah, these are huge shots. Now, Gray, I think, had a lot of halbs in queue, so he's still going to get more of those. This could maybe be the moment if Russell has the guts to go for the glory. Maybe it could still wait, though. There's a lot of siege auditors out there. Now, if I'm King Boo, I do one thing. Wallet. Wallet. Like, these towers are going to be insanely strong against whatever goes in there, right? But wallet, so you have a little bit more time. That's what you do. Whew, crazy. I think it's really unfair. Right now, people are, like, you have to understand as a viewer, you've just sat here for, like, your whole day to watch this game. And we have these aspirations, these things we want to see happen. It's very easy to be unfair to players who have just spent 4.5 hours playing a game and who do not have resources on what they're doing. They are trying to be as cautious as possible with big money jumps on the line now because they're in the cash. And also, there's going to be a lot of people watching. What they would hate to do is lose their entire army trying to snipe and then fail. Okay? So, please, I know it's going to be real easy for you guys to say, oh, this guy's not doing blah, blah, blah. Don't, like, push that mindset away because, honestly, if you're in the same position, you're just as tentative. especially if you've tried so many times to get snipes and failed in this game. So have that perspective, please. Now, this is really a good moment here for Russell to come in and help. And he's going to do that. So he's looping around. He goes in with the steps. He changes his formation. He spreads out. And there you go. This is going to finish off Gray's siege army. Great teamwork from Russell. Great teamwork from King Boo. It was like it was drawn up in the playbook there. And now you look at Gray's military population. It's at 50. And he's going to lose so much. This is where Gray is going to die. Now, if you've got that winner's mentality, if you really want to go for glory, you send this, but my goodness, you send this as well. You send those Rams right here. Russell says, too easy. Loving his life. Loving it. Remember he said, what was that, silly pro earlier? He also said he hates choke points, and he's about to run through one. Oh! Oh, God! What's Boo up to? Boo doing anything? No, he's not prepping anything. Gray's King is inside of that tower. Russell. If Russell has any chance, he has to go right now. He won't do it. But if he wanted to get number one, it's doable if he runs now. He's got the Rams ready, guys. But he wants to make sure he finishes the job. Gray runs away. Now, Gray could also give the kill to Vinchester or back. Gray could also do that. They've been dead for a long time. If he sees the writing was on the wall, he might not want to give the kills to these two. But for now, he's just going to sit in that tower. My goodness. Make bigger hole, no more choke point. He really does not like choke points. Gray still has a lot of siege onagers queued up. Wow. Still got resources banked to make more stuff here too. So this fight's not over against Gray yet. And Gray knows it. There's about like 50 pop here for Russell. He's sending in wave after wave after wave. But he's got like 50 pop that he could utilize right now because he's got 25 Rams inside those workshops. So he's kind of queuing steps. He goes back. He sends them forward. That's what he's doing right now. And he researched treason to see that the king is there. So I'm not seeing a lot from Boo right now. Maybe it's because it's slow. He's got no forward buildings. I'm just keeping an eye on it. Boo, would want to go for Russ. You know what would be such a creative way to snipe someone? You make 2 towers behind the castle of Russell. Maybe, you know, as many as you can fit without it actually being visible. You petard down the castle. And then when you turn on him, the towers take the king out. That would be really sick. Ridiculous game. Is it more surprising that Boo and Russell are in the final 3? Or that Gray's in the final 3? I think the most surprising final 3 appearance is Gray, based on this whole entire game. Because my goodness, like everyone he's with right now or up against right now was up against him with a whole squad earlier. Gray was up against Vinchester, backed, King Boo. The only ones he wasn't up against was Kamigawa and Klavskis, and they died a long time ago. Yeah, I thought Gray would have died a while ago. I didn't know a lot about the player. He's 2K. Did sign up for this, obviously. Whew. I'm also surprised there's no wood on Steppe of all maps. Like, there was so much wood on this map. Holy crap. I know it's been a long one, but honestly, I've enjoyed every second. From the fails to the Diplo to the backstabs. Every player in here just did Regicide Rumble justice with so many amazing fights. It's so sick. Okay, King Boost is 14. They're going to make their move. This is disaster. This is a disaster waiting to happen. I think they completely underestimated how much Gray has here. This is... Oh! Helps go down. There's siege onagers also in the workshops. Remember, the king is in this tower. Gray taking out a lot of the steps. What you need is a big Korean SO shot right in the middle of this. Oh! Boom, baby! Boom, big shots, but more SO come out from Celts to do fire really fast. Russell's worried about that, as he should be. And he's a little preoccupied at the moment. Oh, guys, do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? I'll zoom in. Do you see it? I'm going crazy. It's been 5 hours. Look at it. Look at it. He's going to try. Maybe. It's, I mean, he really lacks the confidence to really go for it, though, man. Jeez. Boo needs to try and finish off Gray. He's so close, man. I know you're selling no eco, no res, says Gray. Interesting. What's the stockpile look like? I like how Gray's trash talking. Boo's got res, though. Boo's got more res than Gray. It's very interesting how the resources play out. He says, sure you don't want a 1-2 place. Oh, man. Healing up first, says Russell. What's he healing? He's healing in Orange's Castle? Oh, man. That's called adding insult to injury right there. Our base is here watching this. King Boo says, I have all the eco. Russell says, unless you have more wood to spare for me. Yeah, Russell doesn't want to lose his Manga Die because he can't afford more. I do have tribute events up, so if he sends anything, we'll see it. Here comes a little loop-de-loop. Okay. Oh, big shots from both. Actually, great micro. Greens do have that one extra range. The king is definitely in that tower, though. King is definitely in that tower. There's not many places to hide for Gray, which I guess is an issue. And he will lose that tower here, I think. He's going to repair. He does have his own siege. But it does feel like he's going to lose that tower. Maybe not, actually. Maybe not. Russell buying food so he can make more step lancers. Gray could actually damage his own tower here. And the king's going to eject. Yep, there it goes. Helps? Helps? MVP helps? No. Nope. Now, if you wait till this is a 1v1, let's say King Boo wants to go for green right now. If he waits, then if King Boo wants to go for Russell, then Russell's going to be aware it's happening. Now, whether or not that matters, I'm not so sure. And Gray just spent, I can't believe it, 1,425 gold to buy 100 stone for one more tower, and he made the tower right next to where the action's happening. Russell's like, my Manga Die are almost healed. That's good. What's Gray have for food right now? So he can still make more halbs. He can still make a few more siege onagers. Wait, what happened there? Wait, what? Did he loot? He's healing up his Manga Die, guys. Yeah, Russell, he's being so slow. God, he's being so slow. Man, I really wish Russell would just do something. I wish he would just be active in some way, but I guess Boo doesn't really seem to mind. But Boo and Gray are going to go at it. Big fight over here. Russell's not contributing at all. Hoping to coast into the second place. And that was a good engagement here. You have less minimum range with your SOs of your Koreans. So he's able... Oh! He was able to take out some of those halbs there. Green Siege Onager's no joke. Lots here from King Boo. Lots here from Mr. Russell. Russell still healing up the Manga Die. And King Boo seems to be used to that by now. King Boo doesn't really seem to care. I think he knows he's going to be number one. And we're going to see Russell 1,000 elo against two 2K players. They are double the player he is. But is he going to be able to do anything? I don't know. Bilbo Bagain says it's so frustrating to have the two biggest backstabbers of the game last the longest. That's what Diplo's about, baby. That's what Diplo's about. And there was plenty of opportunity. Plenty of opportunity to call them out. I think if we do this game again, with different players, Vinchester and Backed will realize that they're being taken for a ride. But they're not experienced with this. I really want to scream right now. I want to scream. I want to yell. I want to take control of their game and do it on my own. But that's not how the world works. That's not how life works. King Boo researched treason. We're close to the 5-hour mark. We are well behind schedule due to this game. Apologies to the players that are waiting. And Gray with the smack talk says, you're doing fantastic so far. Oh, you're doing fantastic, he says. All right. Bro, go for it, man. Go for it. This is your opportunity. This is your opportunity. Go for it. Attack rounds. Now, I don't know where the gather point is. I really don't know where the gather point is. That's a big factor here. Holy moly. I think he's really hoping, as Russell says, need SO. Russell is really hoping that Gray is going to die soon. That's what he needs to happen. He's clearly holding on to everything. He's pulling a Boo right now. Holding on to everything he can and acting like he's helping when he's not. Which for Boo is just straight up karma, I think. Oh, the split! The split with the steps! Oh my god, but if he kills half the siege onagers, I think it's worth it. Worth it for the team here. That's worth it. That's definitely worth it. A lot of the SO go down. There's not a lot left for Gray. You look at Gray's stockpile now. He is out of wood. He will not be able to buy wood because of the cost. Which means he can't make halbs, he can't make siege. This, my friends, is close to the end for Gray, who does have the opportunity to do what many might consider the moral thing and donate a kill to yellow or to blue, who still have units down here. It would take a lot of searching, obviously. Russell has now turned on orange. Russell, of course, you know, our base has been out of the game for a while. King Boo, happy as can be to send more units forward. It's been a long, exhausting, sweaty game. 5 hours, as ACCM, who's going to play next, is in chat and says, God, 5-hour game. ACCM, if you only knew, buddy. You should ask Bact about this. In fact, if Bact is up right now, ACCM, ask him how he's feeling right now. For me. Because I don't have the opportunity. What's up, buddy? ACCM will play in the next one. Sorry we are behind. The next map is Houseboat, by the way. We're gonna get it moving as quickly as possible, FYI. I will not take a break. I will sacrifice my health. It's the life of a streamer. That's what we have to do. Come on, man. Green has nothing. He got flattened 50 times. Still 20k food. Some wood even. And Purple's like, neither do you. I have 80k. So Purple's like, dude, stop trying to convince me. Gray just doesn't want third place. Gray just does not want third place right now. Oh, he's here right now. He says, I'm watching you now. T90 felt good, man. Yo, Back, that was such a good game, man. It was such a good game. I wish I could hear what Vinch is up to as well. Such an epic game, bro. You and Vinchester, together for life, man. Shoulda gone Mayans, says Russell. Eagles would be good here, just gold. Well, not exactly, Russell, but I'll let you think that. I think Mayans would have had some big problems. But the wood would last longer. 10% lasts longer resources, so. Okay, so King Boo is... They know where he is, right? They know that this is Gray's last stand. Okay, how about this? If we kill green, I give you my king. This is the offer he needed to make a while ago. This is the offer he needed to make a while ago. Jeez, man. I want to scream right now. I want to scream. Gray says, easy money. I can't beat you now. Okay, so he accepts it. He can't beat him now. Guys, this would be the perfect time. King Boo says that is true. This would be the perfect time for Boo to prep something for Russell. The perfect time. To go in here and kill that king. Just get ready. Gray's like, I will stall for you. Gray wants an extra 50 bucks here. He knows he's dead. But Boo is going to get number one regardless here. So for Boo, he wouldn't take that deal. Gray needs to be chatting up both sides. He needs to go to Russell right now. But Russell has his own plan. And I really fear the execution isn't going to be great. That's... That's my concern. Simon, thank you for the sub, by the way. Okay, Boo, why are you clearing out the walls? What are you buying time for here? You're not doing anything. Are you gonna fight? There's no reason to take care of the guy's walls right now. This is the moment to make a move. This is where it all goes down. They maybe wanted to hit the 5-hour mark. God! He says 14. Thank you! Thank you. Gray says, forgot about auto farm. Yeah, that is a problem. Here we go. Russell says yes. I guarantee you. Here, this is what Russell's heart sounds like. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. He can't even think right now. Here they go. He didn't see the siege onagers there. That's going to be a shock for him. The king is in there, though. The king is inside of that tower. This is the moment to make moves, people. To make moves. There goes Gray. He's on the run. He is stalling, but he's not stalling for King Boo. He thinks he is. He is stalling for one other player. One shot, one opportunity. Will he let it slip? The king is on the move. Boo is saying, go get that king. Go get that king, Russ. Russ wants it. Russ is hungry. He's going for it. He's going to chase it down. He researched his treason. He sees he's got it cornered. He's got Mangadai. Gray is running back the other direction now. Now, don't let him deke you. No! Wait. 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 He tried it. Oh, God. He tried it. He tried it. And now King Boo noticed. And King Boo says no. Oh, God. We're gonna look back at that. I could rewind on that. But King Boo, he noticed it. And Russell failed on both sides. No, 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 no. Clock ticking, Boo. $25 for you, says Gray. And, oh, Russell. He's so focused. Oh, Mangadai? Let it go, says King Boo. And King Boo turns on him. Oh, and meanwhile, Russ lost everything. No. No. Oh, and all the trade's gonna die for both of them now. And Boo is going to survive that. Oh, jeez. Russell says, just kidding. Just keeping you on your toes. Yeah, there we go, Russell. There we go. Just laugh it off. Good work. And he allies King Boo again. Let's see if King Boo accepts it. He says, ally, please? And King Boo's like, sure. Yeah. All right, Gray being alive has served its purpose up until this point. Gray being alive was a distraction to see if this would have worked, right? It now did not work. Russell says, just didn't want Gray to get you. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so now, at this point, I think if you're Gray, you need to sacrifice your king. He probably doesn't want to. They need to either kill him or this needs to end, right? And that's going to turn into a 1v1. I think Russell's lying, by the way. I think he does have Mangadai. No. Actually, that was probably his main group. But yeah, we need to see this end now. But honestly, guys, if you're going to go for the snipe, use your 20 Rams there with Mangadai and you get him. It was the classic case of trying to be too cheeky. He's being too cheeky with it. Gray is still trying to make offers. Dude, you are like... This is like... I'm trying to think of a weird example. It's like you're on a sinking boat. And like 3 feet away, there's someone with a brand new spanking boat, right? Your boat's sinking. You know you're going to drown. And you're like, hey, guy over there on that amazing yacht. If you let me into your boat, I won't let you drown with me. That's a really bad example. The point is Gray has no... The only thing he can do is stall here. King Boo says, where's his king? Research treason, you'll find out. There, he sees it. Russell needs to come for this. Russell needs to send something, and here he comes. Okay, so it's micro battle. You should always favor the Koreans when it comes to the range. There's no wood on the map. Here comes Russell with his pokes. I am getting a little frustrated, yes. As our final three really want to... You know, they're like, T90, this is what happens when you don't let me into community games every week. I'm going to make sure I get a whole year's worth of airtime. Wouldn't be Regicide Rumble without a long game, but my goodness, is this insane. And he's looking for it. He sees it. He sees it. He sees it. Who's going to get it? Pokey, pokey, poke. Russ. Boom. Russell gets the kill. We are down to 2. King Boo immediately turns on Russell. And that's expected. And Russell will be very happy, actually, with how this game has gone. He has sniped. Okay, first off, for Russell, he might not have been successful with a lot of those crazy attempts, but he at least tried, right? He tried a lot. He's also by far the lowest rated player here, and he's taken his opportunities like a champ. He has tried his best, and he has given it a shot every time. Was late on upgrades, got those, mixed in various unit comps, and now he's going for Siege Ram Step Lancer, which is really good, but it is problematic now that King Boo expects it. So here he comes with the fight. You look at the stockpiles, though. I'll show you everything. Russell's got nothing left. No food, no gold. He might have units in queue that I'm missing. We'll see what's in queue. Yeah, he's got like another 30, maybe 50 Step Lancers. But after that, this is just straight up over for Russell. And King Boo, who just consistently lied to Bact, and lied to Vinchester, and lied to Russell. He lied to everyone. King Boo is going to be our victor here. There's no doubt about it. There's absolutely no doubt about it here. There's too many towers. There's too many halbs. And the population has got to be low now for Mr. Russell, who sits at 13 eco, and he's got 45 military. Surely he is dead now. And I don't think it's going to take Boo long. He's got a bunch of siege over here, so that's going to be a problem. I don't think it's going to take him long to be able to get this. And Russell says, it does appear that I am defeated. And it would be a great time for our schedule if Russell were to just honorably give up his king now. Or make one last run for it, of course. I'm okay with him going with one last run for it. With his Step Lancers. But King Boo says, bring me your king. You can't argue that Boo doesn't deserve to be in this position. We'll look at the final stats. Hopefully it saves with everything with the restore. But Boo had great Diplo in this game. He was chatting up orange and he was chatting up green before red and teal ever thought about it. And we're talking 5 hours ago now, but did a really good job discussing things with people. The king is still here for Russell. And Russell's going to do a little loop-de-loop here. And I'm not sure exactly what he's going to do. But he might actually try and give a king kill to poor Bact, who's apparently out there watching. Poor Bact. Give him 25 bucks. Or Vinchester. Or maybe he's actually going to make a run for it. I don't think he can get through there with that many steps. That's just too many towers. But guys, in general, Diplo or no Diplo, if someone is trade and they're just towering everywhere, you need to turn on those players. What becomes tough, though, is if you're trading with them. So you need to diversify your trade to another corner when that begins to happen. Oh, and Russell's actually in this castle now. This is his last attempt. Russell's going to go in, one more try, because what a move it would be if it actually works out. You play for 5 hours, you might as well play another 5 minutes to try it. Obviously, he's slowly getting defeated here, and he's gonna go now. He figures this is his best shot to run in this way. Sees a tower, and he's like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't think he could actually give a kill to our base, because I don't think our base was enemy to him. I don't think that would be a possibility for him. And King Boo's research treason to see the king is over here, as he's slowly taking everything out. And here come the steps. Might as well try. I'm not sure about flank formation doing anything for you. Last he saw, the king was here. And the king has now moved over to another keep. And, uh-oh. Box formation, baby. Let's go. Look for that king. He can't find it. He can't find it. He sees the flag. He splits. That was actually a really good split. He sees it. Now it's in another tower. Now it's going to another tower. Desperation here from Russell. He will not get that kill as we all expected. Too many towers. King Boo benefited from Russell and from our base and from Bact and from Vinchester and from everyone in this game. Russell says, siege onagers are now my mortal enemy. Well, it's time to call the GG, Russell. I understand you're having a really fun time, but we've got games to get to here. I don't want to leave, so please, 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 please. Don't want to rig it. Please send your king forward. There we go. Oh my god, what a game, dude. What a game. What a game. Russell calls the GG. I would give King Boo this kill, by the way. This would be King Boo's kill if he resigns. Or deletes it. I said that yesterday when people deleted. King Boo says, give King. He says, I won 25 more. Nom 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 nom. Greedy boy. Yeah, there's the king. King Boo doesn't really care how he kills it at this point. And the king is going to go down. Meaning the game ends. Thank goodness. What a crazy game. Congratulations to all involved. King Boo the champ. After 5 hours and 20 minutes. Jeez. Okay, let's see if does the restore file keep all the stats? I believe it does, my friends. And it's confusing because the player names have been replaced with AIs, but the colors are still consistent. So our winner, King Boo, 3,400 kills. Not bad. That's number 3 on that list. Backed, 4,100 kills. They use Bohemians. Vinchester had 6,000 kills in this game. Tens of thousands of units died in this game. It's not like people just sat back. That was ridiculous. You did have Russell with 1,400. You did have our base with 1,000. Economically, though, this was clear as day for us for some time. We had insane trade there from King Boo. And the reason he didn't have 100k gold, as Backed and Vinchester were guessing, was because he was buying stone so he could make those towers. King Boo lied for ages in that game. He got away with it, and he had so many players work out for him. Well, I mean, like, such a great fight. It feels like forever ago now. But Klavskis and Kamigawa, great game from them. Everyone in this game just fought on so hard. And, you know, this is why you put money on the line for Diplo, because the stakes just completely change. Plus, it's an event, so there's more reason for epic things to happen. Wow.